Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Welcome.
Hey Dan. How you doing?
Hello. Good. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining me, my friends. Welcome to Rolling Thunder D&D. We're here for another episode of our campaign in the homebrew world of Liodos, created by myself. And this is episode 7, I believe. And I have my friends here, Joe, Charlie, Christopher, Adam,
Hello.
all here to play their lovely characters. How are you all doing, guys? Okay? Ready to play?
So ready to
good.
play.
Ready.
Yeah, man.
So
This is like
ready.
the highlight of my life.
Me too. Me too.
Can't wait. Let's explore Liodos. Let's cause some trouble.
Okay, so I'll do a recap if I can remember. So what happened last time? You guys, you just finished fighting off the wolves in the town square, and you decided to go and investigate. So you went to speak to the priest at the temple called Sparrow. Yes, who had been looking for people to go and investigate the farmsteads over to the northeast. And you spoke to her, and you bumped into someone you'd met before, Akane, I believe.
Yep.
And I'm getting some hearing myself back. If someone can check their microphones, please. So yeah, you decided, Durandar, you introduced yourself, and you decided to join the party with the quest because I think Durandar was already going to be doing it himself. So why not?
He was indeed.
Why not go with Akane and her friends? So you joined up and you decided to head out north and east out of the village, heading alongside the Nevavista River and through this sort of, into more rural farmland. There's lots of rolling hills and lots of fruit trees and nuts and the occasional paddock of animals and things like that. And as you progressed, you found some strange signs. It started to get very quiet, and the birds stopped singing, and eventually you found in this wooded area, you approached very quietly this bear that was ripping apart a bunch of wolves, and it made to attack, but you managed to subdue it, and you found that this bear, much like the wolves, had been afflicted by some kind of strange malady, and it's turning its fur white and its eyes were white as pale as well, and you tracked it from where it had come from and headed further north, and you followed the path a little ways, maybe 10-20 minutes, and you arrived at another farmstead, and in this place you found it was just dead quiet. There's nobody around, no animals around, just a gentle breeze and a faint whistling coming from somewhere nearby, and you approached with caution, and there was no one to be seen. And you went in the houses one by one, and eventually went in the large main farm building, and you found that the two occupants, the farmer and his wife presumably, had just died. The woman in her sleep, and the man sitting at table in the middle, looks like in the middle of eating dinner, and the kettle was over the fire just whistling, left unattended. You didn't know what to make of it, so you pressed on further up the way that looks like the bear had come, heading northward, and you found like a large manor, sort of small manor, where it looks like is the farm's main house basically, and there was this oppressive sense that your energy was being sucked out of you, and you were feeling very tired, and you investigated further, and there was this creature just standing in the middle of these buildings, sort of twitching, and it was this white gaunt thing, and it had like long spindly limbs and like no eyes. It's all sort of like kind of humanoid, but sort of all out of proportion, and as soon as it saw one of you, it made to attack, and you guys gave this thing a fight for your lives, and it was quite a struggle, and it was sapping you bit by bit. Every turn you were getting weaker and weaker, but you managed to subdue it eventually, Akane finishing it off with a blast from her shield. And then you went into the farmhouse nearby, and you sort of hold yourself up. You barricaded the doors with tables, furniture and so on, and Garland actually took almost fatal wound in battle, and he is very damaged. And he sort of was laid up against the wall, and Truffle was plying him with his healing magics. And he seemed to sort of recover a bit, but he had these, where before he just had these red lines as part of his sort of like expression, he now has these 3 orange dots on his forehead, which you hadn't seen before. And so you guys seem to have resolved to spend the night in this place. I'd say by the time you finished fighting, it's probably mid-afternoon. You guys are welcome to say what you're doing for the rest of the day. I'll hand it over to you at this point. We'll pick up here, mid-afternoon, in that barricaded farmhouse or manor. And actually, I can switch over the map for you. That's probably a good idea. Where are we?
Okay.
So,
So I think we agreed to kind of stay here for a while. I remember Truffle, I think, was locked in his room with is it Garland's propped up by the door, isn't he?
yeah.
Garland, I don't know if Garland was propped up against that door where he is now. I think Truffle just went to...
So I think Drindar put you in bed, didn't he, or something like that?
Yes.
Yeah, carried you into bed.
You just used all of your healing magic at light
I
level.
sort of fell asleep and passed out
Yeah.
on top of Garland, and then Druindar carried Truffle, laid him on the bed, and let him rest and recover.
Oh man, the feels too much already.
So much feels.
Yes.
It's an emotional day.
I am sat in front of the fire, I think having a drink. You know, my posture's open. I'd welcome anyone else there, but I think I'm just kind of staring, reminiscing about the fight we've just had, meditating almost, playing it back, and thinking about our next steps.
Alright, just for the people at home who's watching, I just find this really funny. I just like how Lysander has automatically taken the largest bedroom, and Jenkins, I imagine, is genuinely just sat in the corner, ready to serve at any
if I
given
recall
moment.
rightly, you were like, Jenkins watched the door, and he was like, okay.
Yeah. He I beckoned him telepathically, and I told him to get me to the bedroom and to get my stuff, because I was on 1 hit point, so I was very battered and bruised, and I needed to do some stuff, some magic stuff. So he is. Jenkins has barred the door, and while I am in the bedroom doing stuff.
Oh my.
So, the creature had pretty much decimated much of the surroundings, hadn't it, in terms of wildlife and plant life and all that sort of thing.
There's definitely no animals of any kind. The plants sort of seem just the same, I guess, but you know.
Yeah.
Plants.
So I'd taken down some of the hoardings in the morning on one of the doors and just gone out to have a look and just check around the house and make sure that all of the plant life and nature had survived the ordeal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you go outside and you can see that, like, maybe some of that fringe leaves on the trees are starting to like wilt a bit, but mostly the plants and the that sort of thing are not damaged by whatever this creature was doing.
Thank God.
Or they were experiencing it at a slower rate, I would say.
Yeah, so I think just to double check, it's still the day of we haven't actually stayed overnight yet.
Yeah, so this is like directly after the battle. Truffle's
Okay.
just plied his healing magic, and it's probably like 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon. And if you guys are done for the day, we can just like say, you're done. We'll start in the morning after a long rest. But you're welcome to do whatever you like.
Lysander is done. He is not coming out of this room
Okay.
for
Same for
at
Truffle.
least
Truffle.
8 hours
Minimum.
minimum.
Jenkins is just popping out every now and then to get fluids.
Oh no, he's bloody not. No,
Jenkins, you're not going anywhere.
He's got fluids. There's water in his. He's got a water bottle and food in his bag. What more does he want?
At some point, we need to do an inventory on Jenkins's bag. Because it's basically like Hermione's bag in Harry Potter. We just keep pulling random shit out of it.
Mechanically, it's everything that Lysander had as a starting character given to Jenkins. Plus, I think a few bits and bobs that that I bought at a shop.
So you've got like basically nothing on you.
My inventory is clothes. That's it.
and secrets. Clothes and secrets.
Clothes and secrets. Oh, and a punnet of glowing mushrooms and my cane. That is my inventory. But yeah, Lysander will be resting, recuperating, doing stuff.
Okay. Durindar's wandering around, looking at the leaves and the plants.
Yeah, so I think I'm going to have a bit of a heavy drink tonight. I'm just going to sit by the fire. I will eat one of my rations, some dried cure meats I got back in Viazzo. Just gnawing on it again, thinking at some point I'm going to, throughout the night, I'm just going to go up and check if Garland's okay from the healing magic that Truffle did on him.
Yeah, you can see that he's obviously he's had the crack that he initially had, and he's got this other fracture, small fracture along his jaw that he's now got. But he seems to be the light that pulses within his chest. This red light is still sort of there, and he's just sort of his head slumped down on his chest, and he's just sort of doing his version of sleeping, basically.
Okay, so I think I'm gonna leave him to it. Has he got the 3 dots displayed still?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna wait. I'm gonna kind of, as it gets dark outside, I can just imagine the crickets or whatever. I'm just chilling.
And Truffle's just asleep, I guess.
Yeah, Truffle's sort of. Yeah, I mean, the second he sort of finished all his healing, just pretty much passed out, and you won't see him till just exhausted.
I think. Yeah. Okay. So after all of that, we'll call it a long rest, and we'll pick up in the morning. So if you want to reset your HP, your hit dice, your abilities, etc., etc.
I guess
now's the time.
I guess whilst we're doing that, I would at one point like to just speak to Durindar very quickly.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some point during the evening or night you could.
Yeah, so I guess I just see him going by the window, and I kind of lean out, and I got my wine skin, and Durindar, I'm like, hey D, I call you over.
You called, Akane. You okay?
Yeah, I'm just thinking, what are you doing after this? I guess we've kind of solved the mystery now about what's happening. And I don't mean literally now. I know I've tried in the past, and you've rebuffed my efforts. But just what's next for you? Have you got anything planned?
I have no home. I guess it's just fate will decide what happens next for me.
I mean, without being too forward, I don't think the party would mind if you stuck around with us for a bit longer. I just think that it can be quite hard being the front line all the time, and we just seem to be getting into some more heavier and heavier stuff. We can really use some of these skills.
And what do you think's next for you?
I can't say, but we're on a pretty important mission. So if your interest is peace in the realm, then let me know.
Your mission is peace in the realm.
It's pretty big. I can't say more than that. It comes from Beatrice herself.
Okay.
Do you feel convinced by this, Durindar?
It depends where peace in the realm takes you. Does it take you to the villages, the castles, the town? Or does it take you to the countryside, the trees, the leaves, the wolves?
We could actually probably use your help at least for the next part of the journey. So why don't you just hold off on the decision there? We need to go. North through the Witherbark Woods.
Ah, I know Witherbark Woods well.
So maybe we can hold off on an answer, and I kind of pass him my wineskin until maybe we've just got through the woods, and we can have a conversation after that.
We talked about this, Akane. I cannot drink from your flask.
I know. I'm going to keep passing it to you, though, and one day maybe I'll get lucky. And I think at that point I just turn back inside. And you know, I imagine I've got like soot all over my face and stuff like that. And I think I'm just going to sleep in the chair.
Okay, cool.
I depart from the doorway, thinking about the things that Akane has told me, and wonder whether I should accompany the group to the Bar Woods, where I might be able to help them in any way I can. And I wander over to this tree and just set myself up against the trunk, ready for sleep.
Okay. So you all, in your various places after your experience for the day, you drift off into a peaceful sleep. Nothing happens, you know, your barricades are in the doors, but it doesn't seem like anything is coming for you. It's just still and quiet all around. And Akane, during the night, you feel yourself fall into a dream, more vivid than dreams you usually have. You remember the grand artifice of the fortress world. You know, you've seen it in your fortress echoes and your memories that come to you. You remember this place that all the Castellans call home, but you're not there. You feel you're nearby. You get this other sense, like a sense of danger or something, and it's not clear what that danger is, but you get flashes of this familiar object that's like drifting through space. The object that you've seen before, and it's like a fortress world, but it's smaller and more mobile. It's like a ship that is like a fortress in itself, drifting through space. You feel this sense of sorrow, this sort of sense of loss, as you envision this fortress ship drifting. And its architectural design is oddly reminiscent of these creations that you've made in the past, in your quiet moments of inspiration, and the black jagged rocks that you summon and that cover your umbrella sometimes. And you watch this ship drifting silently through space, the void of space, and it's almost like you're connected to it, and you feel there is something behind, something following it, a sea of darkness that's growing and swelling, and it's following this ship, and you get the sense that this ship is deliberately drawing this darkness away into the depths of space. And you just have this quiet moment. There's nothing but this ship and endless stars, and then you wake up from your dream.
Wow. Okay, that's pretty heavy. I guess I'm immediately going to look out the window. What time is it? Do I know how long I've been asleep?
It's probably, middle of the night, completely dark. No lights or anything around, so it's just like pitch black. Maybe you can see the stars through the window, perhaps, but no sounds except for the wind.
Yeah, I guess I would look out the window and I just look up at the stars. I guess I imagine it's a bit like the memory transfer in Star Trek. Like I've got all these emotions and I can just there's tears in my eyes, but I haven't necessarily been crying.
It's weird. It's like your connection, your fortress echoes, and you've just for a second in your dreams you had this slightly stronger connection than usual.
Did it feel that what I was viewing was current, or something that's happened in the past, or was like to happen in the future? Could I get any sense of feeling about that?
It's hard to say, but you would probably imagine it's happening.
Oh. Wow, okay. I guess so. I'd probably try and re-establish a connection if I could. So I would just sit myself into a bit of a meditative stance and try and just re-establish that connection to my fortress world to see if I could just rekindle that strength of connection I had and see what was going on.
Okay, so yeah, you enter like a complete state of meditation and quiet, and you try and summon forth these fortress echoes, these memories of another world, another place, to connect you back to your lineage. And for a split second you feel like you can get back there, but then you feel another presence rebuff you, almost telling you no.
Do I know if that presence seems someone that's an ally, like somebody that shares the same sort of signature that I have, like the jagged rock, or is this what I suspect is this kind of dark matter?
Yeah, it feels like when you connect to your fortress echoes, it's like connecting to the souls of your ancestors.
Yeah.
And this feels kind of like them speaking to you.
Okay. I'm gonna try and kind of ask them questions, just like you know, who are you?
Let's see. You can roll something for this. What can you roll? Let's roll religion.
That's a 7.
Ooh, okay.
Too much booze.
So you maybe it's too much booze, maybe it's just been a long, hard day, but you call out, and all you get is silence.
Okay, I don't think I'm going to speak to anyone about this. I think I'm going to try and go back to sleep, I think. Actually, but before I do, I'll just check on Garland quickly. Does it look like he's still sleeping?
He is, yeah, he's occasionally stirring, and you know that he doesn't need as much sleep as everyone else, and he doesn't necessarily sleep, but he just seems to be resting, like he's just weary, and he's just sort of like occasionally stirring, but he's just slumped.
I think I'd just give a bit of a look around to kind of, I have a bit of a moment of nostalgia. I think I just look around the house, and I guess I just see everything kind of bathed in moonlight, and just take stock of what's happened. And I'm going to try and I think I'm a bit nervous though, and I'm kind of having a sip of this kind of this rice wine. Actually, no, it's not rice wine. It's wine I got from Kerrick's in town earlier. And I think I'll just have a kind of a slightly longer drink than I would normally, and I think I'm going to try and settle back into sleep in the chair.
Okay, cool. So yeah, you settle back into the chair, and you drift once again back into sleep. And the rest of the night passes without event. Everyone gains the benefit of a long rest, and you'll wake up at, in the morning at whatever sort of time you feel like your character would rise, and we'll pick up the following day. Sun's rising. You can hear once again the wind, but it sounds almost like once again the occasional song of a bird or chirping can be heard. Like things are returning somewhat to the way they should be around here. You get this sense that maybe you've done something good here by putting this beast down.
I think Lysander will probably ask Jenkins to go and get him some food from outside.
Okay. So what you just mean, like from the get some fruit or something?
Just, I would guess I'd just like wake up and I'm just like through the muffle of the mask. Jenkins, go into the house, see if anyone has any food, please, and water.
Yeah. And he's like, oh, right then. He sort of quietly opens the door and sneaks into the corridor. Yeah, he just goes around, he looks in the kitchen, rummages around, probably finds, a few just random bits of fruit and maybe cured meat or something, and maybe some water that's been in a barrel, so it's a little bit stale and warm, but, it's drinkable.
I think while he's at the room as well, I'll make sure I'm fully prepared for him to come back in, and for if anyone else comes in, I'll be fully prepared. So everything will be packed away and I'll look presentable.
Oh. Okay, yeah. He comes back in, he's just got like this plate with a selection of bits and bobs, and he's like, here you go, boss.
Thank you, Jenkins. I really appreciate it. Is anybody else up and around?
Yeah, it looks like people are up and doing something.
Yeah, so I get up pretty early. Durandal gets up pretty early. Had a walk around, just make sure that everything seems okay. I noticed that I can hear noises which otherwise were completely silent before.
Yeah, I think for Durandal it feels maybe like the place is more alive, more vibrant than it was yesterday when you arrived.
Yeah, I can feel life in the air, which is comforting for me. So I wander around the house. I just have a little look and just make sure that all the nature is it feels like it's starting to return. The leaves, if I'm right in saying, feel like they're starting to perk a little bit. Everything seems to be a little bit better than it was yesterday.
Yeah, like weirdly, some of the leaves that looked like they were dying are just sort of starting to, almost come back to life and so on. The animals. So if you go into the barn and check the animals, they are still dead, unfortunately. But the plants seem to be recovering.
The barn yet. Spoiler alert.
Yes. In case anyone does.
It just feels a little bit better. I'm starting to feel it was a bit of a horrible day yesterday, and it took a lot out. And I had a conversation with the Carne the night before. I was a little bit down. I didn't really want to talk. I wasn't interested in what happens next. I just wanted to think about what had happened and sleep. But I'm up now. I feel better. I've made my way around the house, and I just start to head to the dead monster and bump into a Carne, actually, who appears to be making his way over there.
Well, yeah, I'm actually outside doing. So I'm in my under. I'm not wearing my armor. I've got my underclothes on, which are just these basic cotton.
Oh, God.
No, not like kind of pants, but like some sort of like
armored negligee.
My armored negligee. Yeah, like the Princess Leia get
all my clothes.
Well, all your trousers basically.
All my trousers.
Yeah. I think I'm going to be practicing kind of like a cutter. Something I do pretty much every morning with my kind of giant weighted umbrella. So various stances and forms and transitioning. It's really heavy work, kind of lots of sweat going on. Just a basic kind of gi.
I see this, and I've seen it before. I've seen you practicing this on a regular basis in the morning.
Yeah.
So I know that this is not the time to disturb you. Have that conversation. So I go over just to understand, try and inspect the monster to understand exactly what this thing was, whether there was anything identifying about it.
Yeah, so I mean, for Durandal and for all of you, this creature is. I'm getting some feedback on my voice from somewhere.
Yeah, I heard it.
This creature is not like anything you've seen. It's bizarre. And it seems to have not like when you struck it with your sword. It just didn't seem to react like any creature had that you've ever hit before. It just there's something strange about it, and it seemed to be sucking life from everywhere around it as well. And this is bizarre. And Durandal, from where you're standing now, you can see just about round the corner behind that little house. You can see there is a body of someone behind there as well.
I go and investigate.
Okay. So you go over and you find with not many like superficial wounds. A dead person, a dead body of a gentleman. He's just lying sprawled out on his back, and he's just wearing like some standard sort of leather armor, and he's got like this cloak over his shoulders, and various like packs and pouches, and he just kind of looks a little bit like you guys, just a random person who's just out and about with various bits of gear on him. It's just a human guy with dark hair, and his eyes are open, but they're completely gone white.
I bend down to look at the gentleman further. I ignore completely anything he might be holding.
Yeah, so you it really doesn't take a large stretch of logic for you to think that this guy was killed by this creature, and who he is well, I mean, you can by the things that he's holding, he doesn't seem like a soldier or a blue cravat. He seems just like a regular person who seems to be armed. So maybe, like you guys, he's just an adventurer of some kind who'd come out here to try and kill it.
Yeah, so, I mean, anything that is no longer living is obviously quite upsetting for most people, but for Druindar, I feel like it is particularly upsetting. This is I've seen death many times, but it's particularly upsetting for me not understanding where this creature's come from, what it is, what it does, why it's here, and the effect that it has on the nature around it. I just sit on the ground next to this dead guy.
Okay. So Druindar is over there. He's sitting on the ground. Akane's practicing these kata. What's Truffle doing right now?
So you hear a little squeak at the door, and you see a little goblin face poke his nose out, and he's wearing what you'd first assume to be PJs, but are actually some old fine clothes that well, when he was a child, and they don't quite fit him properly, but they're little ankle swinger PJs, pinstripe, well, they were once a fine suit. And he sort of pokes his head out in his little goblin PJs, and
I hope you've got fine suit goblin PJs in your image.
Yeah, I've got fine
I love RDM's expressions that are just happening as you're describing this.
Well, actually, in my suit, it says fine clothes, but
Okay.
they were fine clothes. But they're being worn as PJs by Truffle.
Go on.
And he comes over and looks out and sees that no one else is there, and kind of breathes a little bit of a sigh of relief. He's not quite ready to bump into people, and he sees Garland in the corner, and there's a bit of trepidation as he goes towards him, and kind of tilts his head on the side to see any kind of expression, of which there almost certainly isn't any.
Yeah, you see the same thing as you always see on Garland's face. This smooth, crystalline, like faceplate with these red lines and now these 3 orange dots.
And tilts his head to the other side, squints, and Garland?
Oh, hello, friend. Are you well?
I think so. I'm more concerned about you. I've never really had a friend before, and I thought as soon as I'd made one, I thought I was going to lose you, and I didn't know what to do. How are you?
What about Akane, Lysander, and Druindar? Are they not also your friends?
See, they are, but it's different. I can't. The best way to explain it is, although I'm an adult in my people, everyone seems to know more than me, and everyone seems to have seen more than me. And I think you are the first person I've met who is learning about this world the way I am. So, I don't know, I don't feel like I have the same experiences as them, and I don't feel as common as them. So, I don't know. I've never really seen them as friends, more as just people who come and go. And Akane's I've known for years, but she comes into town and she leaves. You're the first person who's sort of stuck around long enough to experience stuff.
Well, it seems like you are about to go on a journey with these people. Perhaps you should learn to consider them your friends also.
I think you're probably right. But when I thought I don't want to lose anyone. Like, you see, when you're on the streets, people don't like the way I look. And I'm not common in these places, but people treat me mean. And so I've kind of always pretended to be someone else or never made the effort with anyone. And so I thought that might be like you. And I like these people, I really do, but I don't want to get hurt. And I want to help you, and I want to fix you so that I've got someone to go through this with, you know? Like making friends together.
Well, Truffle, I will stay with you as long as I am able.
Well, I hope that's a long time.
So do I. So do I.
And I take a sit down on a chair and just swing my legs back and forth and just wait for everyone to come back.
Okay.
I think at this point, Lysander will probably emerge from his dwelling. Just pop his
Can I smell anything when the door opens?
Lilac and gooseberries. Yeah, he has precipitationed himself to smell like a floral.
Yeah. How does he look today?
Today he's back to his kind of square-jawed 5 o'clock shadow kind of look, his adventuring look, as opposed to his city look, which is a bit more effete. Kind of pops out with his cane. Morning, all. Waits for a response.
It's just us. Morning.
Where is everyone?
How are you? I don't know. I've really just come out. I was just waiting for everyone else. I thought I got up quite early, but I guess not.
Good morning, Mr. Lysander. Are you well?
Good morning, Garland. I'm very well. I'm absolutely wonderful. Good night's sleep cures all.
Your appearance has changed from yesterday.
Is it? Yes, well, I've just brushed up a little bit. There was a little bit of adventure's dust. And now all fine and clean now. How are you?
I am functional. Thank you for asking.
Functional. That's all we can hope for sometimes, isn't it?
Yes.
Sorry, Truffle.
Are there anything in the cupboards to make like a cup of Joe or?
Yeah, I mean, this is like
porridge?
the house that the farmer and his wife or possibly family were living in. So there's stuff. It's stocked with, food and drinks of various sorts.
So to keep his fingers busy, because actually while he was sitting there, I think Truffle's probably got a little bit of ADHD, and just can't sit still for too long. So he's going to start raiding the cupboards and see if he can whip up a breakfast, of which you will tell me what it is. Unless you want me to roll them, and you can tell me how good it is.
I mean, they'll have basic stuff like, I don't know, some dried fruits and a little bit of dried meats and some
Granola,
nuts and potatoes, maybe. I don't know, like basic farmy stuff.
Okay. People used to call
Did you work
Truffle
with
with
that?
honest stuff.
Maybe a couple of
I'll
eggs
work
if
with
you're lucky.
I'll make something.
Patatas bravas.
I'll make some patatas bravas with a little fruit compote on the side.
Oh, there we go, compote.
Lovely. So I think I'm going to come back in at this point. Just sweating, generally quite minging. I guess you're halfway through cooking truffle. And I'm like, oh, you know, kind of that smells great. Like, what are you cooking, buddy?
Patatas truffles.
Beautiful. And I guess I crouch down as well, and I just look at him and I say, look, about shoot me. No hard feelings there. And I guess actually I've been thinking a lot about this truffle. I keep treating you like a kid because that's how we met, but you're really not at all. And I'm sorry if I kind of keep trying to be all motherly around you and stuff like that. That's not kind of my intent. I do genuinely see you as a friend, and genuinely no hard feelings. You know, I think it was a really smart idea. Just next time, if you can do that little trick where you break the arrowhead off first, that would really be appreciated.
What you don't see is like Truffles having this whole conversation whilst facing the stove, and his little shoulders shaking a little bit. He's welling up a little bit, but he's trying to keep it. He's salting up the patatas bravas with his gentle goblin tears.
I don't think I. No, I probably would notice. I would. I'm very perceptive.
Oh, it's slight. It's a slight. I don't want people to know. Hopefully, it's. Can I? I want to roll.
Oh, perception versus.
What would it be? Perception versus sleight of hand on my face, on my body.
I don't even
Deception.
know what is happening right now.
So I'm basically trying to figure out.
Performance. I'm going to roll performance.
What
for
are
if
you
I can
performing?
I am performing to try and hide that I'm crying a little bit of this emotional sentiment that's happening.
Sure. Okay.
And
Slight of
22.
I'm trying to hide, to keep the feelings in.
Okay. So I guess I don't notice. I go around looking around. I guess I'm looking for Lysander.
Yeah, Lysander's around. He's I guess he's wandering up and down. He's like, Akane, good morning.
And I think I'll
How
give you a
are
big hug. I'm sweaty, by the way. My dreadlocks are a bit messy, and I've got like kind of sweat down me, and I'm kind of still a bit sooty. But I just grab you in like the biggest hug, because don't forget, like, I mean, I saw you what kind of last night, and you were on death's door.
That's true.
I try and get my cane up, and I'm like, no, wonderful, thank you. How are you?
I gotta push you back. I pat you on the shoulder. It's so good to see you. I mean,
It's only been a few hours.
yeah, I know. And I pull down my kind of my trousers.
Oh goodness.
You can see my bandaged leg. I'm like, oh, how's yours healing? And I go to. Do you know what? I'm just really ignoring etiquette here. I go to pull apart your robe.
Oh no. Okay, that's enough now. I'm fine. Good night's sleep cures all. And kind of readjust. Like, sorry. Touching.
No. You're right. I'm just so excited to see you. Like, I can't believe.
Jenkins is looking at you like, should I do something?
What can you do, Jenkins? I give him a look of no, it's fine, Jenkins. Don't worry. All in the eyes, that is. Yes. What's the plan? Has anyone had a look at what this thing is, or?
I saw Druinjar checking it out earlier.
And at that point, I walk in magically.
I crack a couple more eggs into
Druidar walks in.
The crowd claps.
I look at everybody, and I particularly at Lysander, and just I have a look at him, and you're looking good. Yesterday you were looking a little worse for wear.
Thank you. Yes, just needed a good night's sleep.
Yeah. Rested.
You were pleading that out so hard yesterday.
Yeah.
You're like almost dead.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
Good night's sleep. I'm fine.
Perfectly fine.
Don't ask any questions.
Yeah. So, Durandal, we're just talking about the monster outside. It looks like Truffle's nearly ready to serve breakfast, but I guess before we eat, kind of, what did you see?
I honestly don't know what to tell you. It's like a a white blob sucking the life out of everything around it. I've never seen anything like it.
Is it still giving off that effect?
No, the nature is returning. I hear nature in the breeze. I hear life in the forest. It appears that this is the only example of this creature.
I think when you say that, Lysander just his ears prick up and he's listening for nature. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, I kind of looking at Lysander as well, just like also trying to listen for nature.
I did find a poor traveller behind the shed that we never explored, and it looks unfortunately like he's lost his life to this creature. I didn't check about his person. I wouldn't want to disrespect him.
I think after we maybe give the area a thoroughly good investigation, how do you all feel about perhaps taking the corpse of this monster back?
I was thinking the same thing.
Perhaps knock down one of these doors, drag it with a couple of ropes.
I think it should be burned till there's nothing left.
Well, then, but the problem is then, darling, if another one pops up somewhere, we won't know, how to fight it. The people won't be aware. They might not believe us. I've never seen anything like this. I'm a well-travelled man.
I've heard.
I've got to go with Lysander on this one. What do you think, Truffle?
Breakfast!
Truffle brings you around a helping of his whatever he's made.
Patatas truffles, and it's really good. But patatas truffles, absolutely. But he's kind of tried to make
roll
like almost
survival, and we'll find out how good it is.
I imagine patatas truffles is just like a banana.
Oh no! 5.
I think you can all interpret that even for yourselves.
I will.
There's no paprika in this.
I will prestidigitation my own so it tastes a bit better.
And I'm like looking at Lysander. I'm like, just give me a nod to mine.
I also
like,
Lysander, and I look at him like you can do something about this, right?
I'm like, I don't want to offend Truffle.
I cast minor illusion on mine to make it look a little bit better, like the commercial of the McDonald's burger.
I want to try and prestidigitation both of theirs to taste better without Truffle noticing. Just like I'm just like I've got to have my cane in my hand. I just rub my cane and
beat a natural 20, mate. I perceive everything.
You can't crit a skill check, mate. Sleight of hand.
Shut up.
23.
I'm afraid you don't notice it.
I'm so slow.
Just to be clear, that was a natural 20, but he beat it because he had a 23.
Yeah. Beautiful.
What you gonna do?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. It looks like you guys are all enjoying it.
Yamming it
I'm
down.
loving it. I'm getting it down my face. I've kind of like my muscles are aching for this kind of sustenance.
So you guys want to take that monster back to town?
It's dead. As long as it's not causing any harm right now. Maybe we should just assess it for a while. And
Maybe
then...
the Sparrow would. I mean, this is one way of us being able to show what happened. Maybe the Sparrow could have some people do experiments. At least it proves that we've passed her task.
Just to be clear, Sparrow is a priest in charge of a temple. She's not like a wizard researcher.
I'm thinking more of the
Like
maybe,
a scholar at university who does research.
maybe the princess and some of her compatriots might be more interested. This thing is, it's one creature has had a devastating effect. If there's any more of them out there, this could be an absolute disaster. So I think I've never seen one before. Has anybody else, Durandar, Kane?
No.
If we've all covered various parts of the world, and we've never seen or heard of anything like this. So I think it's prudent that we take it back and let the rightful authorities know.
Okay, that makes sense. Has anyone seen the farmer?
You all saw the farmer.
Oh, was it at the other farm, or is it the guy behind the shed?
That's the guy who fell asleep eating his dinner.
Ah, right, okay. Oh, so this is
yeah.
part of his holdings, basically.
Okay.
Right, okay.
You
Ignore that
could
comment.
quite easily assume that yes, this is all part of the same farm.
So yeah, do we want to start? I don't really want to hang around this place too much. It doesn't feel right. He said whilst eating the guy's potatoes.
Perhaps after breakfast we can find a way to get this body back relatively intact. I don't think stuffing it in a bag or something is going to do the job. Have a look at the dead person behind the shed and investigate the area in general. Just get a real lay of the land.
You got any giant body bags hanging around with you?
I'm thinking door, rope, and just rope it and just drag the door.
It's a great idea, Lysander. So yeah,
I mean,
I'm in agreement.
that's me, but
That's
I don't know if Lysander would know to think of that.
I'm in agreement. So yeah, I think I just smashed down my breakfast, and I'm quite keen to just we'll do a quick scour of the complex just to make sure there's nothing useful here that we can kind of take with us. Then let's get back. Maybe one of us go speak to Syrian, who is Beatrice's aide. We need to talk about whether or not Druindar, what you want to do.
Good job we bought that extra horse, wasn't it?
Druindar's already got his own horse. That horse is for Jenkins.
Oh
I'll have
yeah,
you know.
the other horse that he left back at the town.
All of you who are present will have a horse.
Good.
We need to get Druindar if he's interested to sign the NDA. Anyway, I diverge. So I'm just going to smash down my breakfast and then kind of stand up and be like, does anyone else want to come with me? As I'm putting my armor on.
I'm cleaning up the plates and trying to make the place look presentable.
Where are you going, Akane?
I'm just going to go check out the body around the back of the shed.
I'll join you.
Scour the shed quickly and then maybe take a look inside the barn just to make sure there's nothing worth.
Join you.
Okay, so what is it? What are you guys doing exactly? Sorry.
Where are we going? Are we investigating the barn, investigating the dead body and the monster?
Yeah, so in order, body first, then the building to the left of the body, and then the barn.
Okay.
And then we're going to try and figure out how to. Is that a wheelbarrow?
Car.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
There's all kinds of farming shit lying around.
Body. Let's go.
You guys are investigating the body. Roll investigation, please.
How good would you say you are at investigating, Akane?
I think I'm no better than any average person, but no worse either.
Since you're doing it together, whoever's doing it will be at advantage.
There you go, 14.
14.
So yeah, you see Akane, she goes and she opens the coat and she starts looking around and rummaging around, and she immediately notices the first thing at his waist is a short sword in a little sheath, and you pull it out a little bit and you can see that it is glowing.
Orcs are near.
Okay.
And you okay, this is obviously not a normal sword. You see that he's also got a bunch of a little quiver or whatever you have bolts in of crossbow bolts, but they look like quite finely crafted ones.
Ooh. Okay.
Ooh.
He's also got his fur cloak that he's wearing, which looks quite finely made of some kind of real animal fur. And he's got also a breastplate armor, which is, I believe, some kind of medium armor.
Oh well. Perhaps we should. Is there anything else, Akane? I'm standing well back, 6 foot away. Anything else? Any identification? Any markings?
So I'm going to check for identification. I think I've so far surmised that this is definitely somebody serious in terms of with experience. I think he's got a magic sword on him from kind of initial checks. Some pretty
cloak looks very nice.
It does, yeah. And I kind of take the cloak off and I throw it across to Lysander.
Yeah.
Yeah, you Lysander, you quite easily tell as a being who you are that this is worth probably a fair amount of gold. This cloak.
I'll just put it on for safekeeping.
Probably it seems like for this weather it is excessive because it's quite hot, but he's obviously got this expensive cloak and he's
What colour is it?
It's like a dark browny grey sort of fur.
Ooh. Okay. It's not really
What were you
black,
thinking, Magenta?
but it's acceptable for Lysander, I think, to wear.
Good enough.
Well, magic sword, you say?
Yeah, and I pick it up and I'm just kind of inspecting it. But I'm not quite sure what it does. I'd have to spend some time studying it, or maybe somebody else.
But is it worth? The chap, the half orc fellow, he gave me that spell.
What spell?
Oh yeah, you got detect magic or something maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you'd like to give it a go, and I kind of just hold out this sword in front of Lysander.
Give me 10 minutes.
Okay. I guess I kind of just spend the rest of the time kind of looking for any identifying marks on their body, and then just wait for Lysander to finish whatever he's doing with the sword.
So yeah, you can see he's got like like some reasonably well-made boots and some sort of standard trousers. Other than his breastplate and his cloak, he just seems to have like a pack with some like standard adventuring bits and bobs, like a few rations, maybe water skin, a bedroll, that sort of things. Nothing that would tell you who he is exactly.
Okay. So I think I'm just going to take the useful stuff, put it in my basket, kind of the rations.
Yeah, so let's say you get how many rations? 4 rations.
4 rations. The water skin, of which I now have 2. 4 rations.
Yeah.
Okay. And yeah, I guess I wait for I guess while Lysander's doing that, I'm going to poke around in this building here as well.
Sure.
Yep.
How do I reveal? There we go. So you go and you open it, and it's like quite a simple wooden door, and it's not locked or anything. You just sort of like lift up the latch and push it open, and you can see inside that it is it's like a little shed cum workshop. It's fairly bare. It's got some tools hang on the walls, but it's got this table with a cloth over it, and there's sort of like dust and dirt and mud sort of scattered around, and on this table is like a stone tablet, and as you go into this room you feel a very slight version of the feeling you felt around the monster. It's like sound and feeling are just like dead inside this room, and you can see this stone tablet sitting there, and it's like maybe about a foot long, about 7 or 8 inches wide, and it's sort of like it's roughly carved out of something larger, and it's sort of got bits of dirt on it, and it's got something on the front of it as well.
Okay, so I'm gonna inspect this in a bit more detail.
And you can see that it has this on the front of it, which I've just put in your journal.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Oh, okay.
Secret stuff.
Is it glowing as well?
It's not glowing like that, but it's like this just standard grey stone. It's got like a white carved rune in it.
Yeah. So I guess
it's probably not as neat as that, but it is that symbol.
So would I recognize this as a language in the world of Liodos?
It's not a language. You would know it's not a language, but roll a history check, see if you can remember anything.
17.
You don't know exactly what it is, but you feel like at some point you've maybe seen similar things in like very old temples, like from a previous age sort of thing. And they maybe have something to do with gods or ancients or something like that. But it's not necessarily a language, at least one that is used in modern day.
Okay. I'm going to attempt to wrap the crystal up in the cloth that's on the table. So I touch it with my armored hands, kind of. Yeah, so I've got like leather gauntlets with like chain kind of Japanese samurai armor on. Anything
I mean,
happen?
you can touch it, and it feels almost like sort of numb around it. But you're able to sort of swaddle it in cloth, and this sort of, it's quite heavy, but you've got this stone tablet, and you wrap it up in the cloth. And when it's in the cloth and you're not directly touching it, it's not as severe, sort of thing.
Okay. And then I'll take is there anything else of note in here that I would?
It's just maybe a few tools like a shovel and trowel and pitchfork and that sort of thing is in this room.
Okay. So I'm going to leave and I'm going to go back to Lysander, and I guess while he's still doing his ritual, I'm also going to take the breastplate off the body and the crossbow bolts and put them in my bag with the stone.
10 minutes.
Yep. So you are detecting magic.
I am detecting magic.
You are detecting that this sword is magical.
A sword is magical? Okay.
Yes.
So I guess Akane comes out and I'm just about finished, and I'm like, okay, let's have a look then. Yes, the sword, definitely. What about Akane's bog clogs go off, my cane?
Yes, all the usual things which go off.
What about the thing that Akane just picked up?
Yeah, I guess
It's not magical as
Okay.
such. It maybe has a weird something different that's not just standard, but it's like a distortion, maybe like a lack of magic completely.
Would it stand out, or
Not really. You might be like,
Okay.
well, that's a bit weird, but you don't think, oh, that's magical.
all right? So sword definitely. I can't see anything else in the vicinity.
Yeah, I'm holding my like basket in front of you. I'm just like have a look. And I was like, yeah, we'll talk about that later, Lysander. I found this stone. It's kind of giving off the same, I don't know, vibrations that kind of monster was. Although it doesn't feel as extreme. It doesn't feel anywhere near as kind of sapping as when we were fighting that monster.
Forbidden magic, eh?
Potentially we'll look at later.
Could I take a look now, very quickly?
Sure. And I kind of just hand it across.
I will, yeah. Unravel it and is it? Yeah. Can I tell anything else other than exactly what you've described with my background?
With your background, I don't think that it would be related in any way.
Okay, cool. Okay. Well, I'll wrap it back up again and just hand it back. Yes, I should take it to the others. Something's linking it to this creature. Maybe it's summoned it, or maybe this person brought it here. Speaking of this person, should we bury him? Burn him?
No, we should probably just let the blue cravats know. They'll probably send some people in to tidy up the area. We can't find anything of value here. I think we should
Just to where we've stripped his body of all his valuables, and now.
I think that's okay. Oh, I see what you mean. Well, I mean, it was never really obvious he had a sword or a breastplate.
You're just doing what adventurers do, right?
I suppose he can't. He certainly can't. He's got no identification. He can't use them now.
We'll speak to Sparrow. I mean, I'm not that too interested in the money that we'll get from that, but we'll speak to Sparrow and kind of see what the Temple of Balance has to say about this kind of act. But I guess we should get the others over and get this body into maybe one of these carts or wheelbarrows and kind of get him back to town.
Yes. I'm going to. If you do that, I'll just do I want to just do a quick lab while this spell is still operating. Just see if I can see anything else.
Okay, yeah, you wander around, and all around it's just sort of like trees and shrubs. You've been in the main house itself, so you know what's in there already. And the barn is just, it's dead animals, and it's starting to smell pretty bad in there.
Okay. I'm just specific. I'm just looking around with to see if I can see anything magical.
Specifically magical, you cannot see anything else in the area. Oh, actually, yes, you can see something magical. So you can see something on the body.
On the body of the man, or the body of this
Yes.
thing.
You can see he has an earring which is very faintly glowing with magical energy.
Oh, nice.
On the dead man, not the white thing.
Yeah, on the dead adventurer guy.
Oh, so I pick that off, and I'm like, curious.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just.
What kind of earring is it?
I'll pop that on.
So you can see it seems like a fairly simple, like a silver earring. It's sort of like just curls round, and it's like a very simple swirl design. But I mean, Lysander can. The only reason that anyone would notice it is because Lysander could detect magic.
So I pick it off, and I look around. Is anyone around me?
I think I'm picking this. I've wheeled this wheelbarrow over, and I put the body in it. So I probably noticed you fiddling with the body, but I'm not particularly.
I'm just gonna pop it. I'm just gonna pop it on my ear. Just gonna.
Without cleaning it. Oh, it's a clip-on, is it?
I've already got pierced ears. Whatever. But I think
an attunement type situation.
that's fine. But okay, hang on. I'm just gonna whisper something to you.
Yes.
Am I a god?
How sexy am I now? I am wearing this earring.
Yes.
I don't know, Adam.
How sexy am I?
Yeah, of course you could.
Okay, so I put it on and it's gone.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'd noticed that actually.
It's no longer visible. And I just stand up and well, off we go.
Okay. So I guess I'm just kind of trying to maneuver these limbs into this wheelbarrow, and then I guess I'm gonna just go back inside for a sheet and put it over the body, and like tuck it in, rope it up, just basically secure the package. I'm gonna wait for everyone else.
This music goes so well with tying up monster bodies.
I feel like this needs to be on its own playlist on repeat.
It's just this. Oh, it's all right.
So good.
Okay.
How do we know when we've become evil?
When this song plays.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so Akane, you've got this
Yeah.
thing on the wheelbarrow.
Ready to go.
Yeah. So, what is everyone else joining her to leave, or are you doing anything else here?
Yeah, so I finished my and I wander over here and I look at Lysander. I don't know whether he's seen me, but I just kind of nod in appreciation for the fact that he's made that disaster that we'd been given inside into something edible, and I just kind of wander over to Akane and I just say, Akane, I know we had a conversation last night, and I needed some time to think. But if you have a task that needs completing, I'd be honoured to help.
I appreciate that. So I guess I can't tell you that much about it, but it is to stop war. This is pretty big. So we can run over to the princess's aid when we get into town. I guess, have you given any thought as to whether or not you just want to accompany us through the Witherbark Woods, or do you want to go further?
I'll come to Witherbark Woods with you. As you will know, I've never travelled to a town or city other than the monastery that we met. It was a monastery, wasn't it?
Yeah. So I'll tell you what.
It was probably the busiest place I've ever been to. So Witherbark Woods sounds good to me.
Yeah. So I'll tell you what. Let's just keep it our secret. We can go through Witherbark Woods, and if you want to go further after that, well then we have ways of contacting him. So we don't need to drop by the princess.
Sounds good. I see you've roped up this thing.
Evidence. It's good to study your enemy. We also found evidence that there's potentially some sort of source giving off the same kind of energy, which we should always get back to the right authorities in town.
DM, based on how far away I am from this energy, would I have felt that?
Which energy is this?
The energy of the stone giving off the death scent.
I mean, if you were within like 5-10 feet of it, you would probably feel it a little bit. When it's wrapped up, it's pretty muted.
Okay, fine. What is this? What is this energy you speak of?
I don't know. It just feels like the monster we fought. It's just kind of pulsing off this rock. It's got a strange symbol on it.
Do you show me the rock?
Yeah, I'm not shy about it. Like, kind of get it out and show you it.
Now pass me the rock.
Get it straight out, whack it out, maybe.
I jump back 5 feet and immediately feel the effects when you show me the rock. And I want no part in this rock investigation. Feels like death.
Yeah, it doesn't feel nice. And I'm just kind of like looking at Drew and Dodge, like shaking my head. Truffle.
Truffle spent 20 minutes trying to clean a pan of all his potato souffles. and we'll then trot out with Garland.
Garland's just helping you do whatever you're doing. And then he's
Garland's been drying. I've been washing.
Okay.
Shall we? I think now's about time. We should head back. We've got a little bit of a journey ahead of us.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Tally ho!
So I guess as I walk past Truffle as well, I kind of hand him the bag of bolts, and I'm just like, "Here you go, buddy. It looks like you could probably use these. They look finely crafted."
Yes. That is 10 plus 1 bolts for mechanics purposes.
So 11 bolts.
So what do I like?
Thank you, James.
So I just add +1 to every attack I do with them, right?
Yeah, it's attack and
10
damage.
Okay, cool. Oh, attack and damage. Ooh.
Well, you absolutely need to hit. Okay, so we start heading back towards Viazzo, wheeling a kind of a tarpaulin-covered wheelbarrow with my umbrella resting across the top of it.
Okay.
Let's go.
Let's go. Alright, so.
Man, I need another resource pot.
You can just add them.
Just write it down on a piece of paper or something.
Oh, that old chestnut.
Yes. Okay, so you finish your investigations and whatnot at this house, and it's mid-morning at this point, and you have this creature's body on this sort of wheelbarrow thing, wrapped up, and you're dragging it back through the farmlands. And once again, like I said before, it's starting to seem like things are coming to life. The birds are singing, and you maybe see the occasional like hair running through the trees or something. It just seems like there's life around again. Yes. And it's quite easy for you to find your way back. It was maybe an hour or 2 at most from town that you travelled, and you just head back the road and eventually make your way back to Viazzo. And you arrive in the town square where you left off. And where do you go from here? I will say that the bodies are no longer here, but you can see that where it's normally bustling, there's loads of people and markets in the town centre. It's just there's nobody here. There is one of the blue cravats and a couple of the cadets from the military academy are just like stopping people from entering, and there is like a priest who is just like attending to where the body was, like saying some kind of prayers and incantations.
I'm looking around in shock, and I turn to the group and I say, I've heard in stories that towns are bustling places. This feels like an exaggeration at this point.
I guess the wolf attack earlier had some way of kind of explaining kind of why it's empty. I wouldn't be surprised that people aren't allowed back in the area yet. And I kind of nod at the blue cravat as I'm kind of wheeling this wheelbarrow through the square.
I'm sure they're just self-quarantining. Just in case.
Should we? What time of day or night is it right now?
It's morning. It's like maybe 10, 11, that sort of time of day.
Should we try and take this back to this body back to the princess's entourage?
All Sparrow, right? You know, kind of. It was Sparrow kind of was investigating what was going on here.
Not sure what the Sparrow can do about it. Well, we could then take it back. It's just while we're here. But yes, let's go to the Sparrow.
Lysander, any excuse? We can get somebody from the Blue Cravats as well, I guess, to kind of, and we can also contact Syrian at some point through the device he gave us.
Well, we need to pick up our horses, etc. Still.
Yeah. So what? Yeah. Let's go speak to Sparrow first and see what she's got to say.
Yeah.
Okay, so you make the journey over to the Temple of the Balance that you originally found Sparrow in. It is, as it always is, quite bustling. There's various acolytes around tending to the place, and people coming and going. There's quite a few people inside. It's not like a church where they have a big ceremony and everyone sits there. Everyone just sort of sits in their own place on like a little cushion, saying their prayers and whatnot. And there's quite a lot of people in there. You go in, and you can see Sparrow is not at the altar, but she's sort of bustling around at the back of the temple doing something or other. And you go over and approach her, I assume? And what are you doing with the body? What have you done with it?
I'm waiting outside with the body. I don't think it's particularly appropriate to wheel a wheelbarrow of kind of deathly gloom through the Temple of Balance.
I would agree.
And just quickly on the religion of balance, is this... is it like Christianity? Is it well accepted? Kind of some people follow it, some people don't.
It's like more accepted. It is like the main religion, basically, of at least Okaralis, which is the continent that you're on. And it is like most people would just accept it as if you're going to the temple, you're going to the balance sort of thing. But it's like a pantheon of gods, so everyone will observe balance, which is the two gods, Ina and Opheron, and people will, depending on what it is, like the god of war or the god of agriculture or whatever, they will say prayers to different gods, sort of thing. But the Temple of the Balance is the main faith, so to speak.
Okay, so I know enough not to wheel a kind of dead monster through a church or temple.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, I'll wait outside, guys.
I'll nudge Truffle and be like, "Come on, Truffle, we've got this."
I stroll in with a bit more confidence now that I've had external validation.
So, yeah, see the Sparrow and... Woo! Sparrow! Hello, we're back.
She's
Wow.
She's like, hello there, you're back. Did you attend to the problem over at the farmstead?
Other good Truffle.
Big time.
And
Big time
was
indeed.
it something to do with these wolves, these mad wolves? Is there more of them?
Yes and no.
Yes and
maybe
no.
you
What
should
exactly
come out.
do you mean?
Maybe you should come outside.
Yeah, follow us, and I skip out the door.
I should come outside. What have you got outside?
Fair warning, there was a creature. It's a creature that myself nor my companions have ever seen before. It is dead, and it is no longer a danger, so we believe.
It's called a chihuahua.
Everything's called a chihuahua. But we thought it prudent to bring it back for investigation purposes. This thing was
yes. Okay.
very dangerous, so
Well,
don't be shocked.
certainly. She waves over and a couple of acolytes to follow her, and she's like, "Come. Yes. Lead the way and show me this body."
And I rip open. Is there a tarp over it, or is it just in the wheelbarrow?
Yeah.
The oldie tarp.
Yeah, with two ropes across it.
I stand there and jazz hands it.
She's just looking at Truffle like, what?
That is what made the wolves loco.
So she looks over and the two acolytes like, oh my god, what is this?
I know, right?
And she's
We
like,
defeated it.
what is this creature? This caused all the trouble?
Well, that and maybe something else. And I'm like, gesture to Akane. Like, Akane, do you have the other item?
Yeah, and I put my bag down and I kind of gingerly bring out this rock and I kind of just.
She's like, what is
You
that?
can definitely feel it. So that's kind of what the monster was, or that creature was feeling like. And
Yeah, she reaches out with her talons and sort of like gently touches it and we're like, oh, something is not right about this. Anything about this.
So is there anything?
Ignore this situation.
This music's great.
Sorry.
It's so random. Like, I know you've gone for royalty free, but we're
Truffle's got the
really
loot
about-
out.
Imagine
Truffle's
somebody
playing this
near
music.
behind.
Truffle's playing the music next to the body.
The couple in the corner having a Italian salad with a glass of red wine.
We're listening to the most epic Spanish acoustic guitar you've ever heard.
Oh my god! It's a couple proposing to one another, and we've basically just revealed this creature, this hideous creature, destroyed their proposal.
What a reveal! The poor Sparrow.
This poor couple.
I'm gonna change it. Sorry. Okay.
I do imagine Truffle playing the music as well.
Okay,
Truffle
now
puts
just
down the loot.
let's compose ourselves.
Oh,
So, she's obviously taken aback by this, whatever it is that you presented, and the creature, she is a little bit overwhelmed. You can see in her face, she's like, I don't know what to make of all this. Like, do you know what this creature is? What is this thing? Or what have you brought to me? I've never seen anything like it.
I mean,
You and us both.
I don't know. Well, I'm not really the best person to speak because I've seen very little. But even Akane doesn't know what it is, and she's been everywhere.
I've never seen this before, and I don't know if
I've even heard the people at the bar say she's been everywhere with everyone.
Truffle.
That's what it means, right?
Just
They said you get around.
I just basically put my hand over his mouth. I'm like, look, we've never seen this before. I
She's
guess
like, yes. Mm-hmm.
what we're looking for is kind of like every time he tries to move and just kind of keep my mouth there is just some kind of direction as to where to take this. You know, he would be interested in this sort of stuff. He could kind of maybe dissect it or understand more about this.
The body or the tablet or both?
Both, I guess. They're probably connected in one way or another.
I mean, there's not really any kind of hub of scholars here. We could certainly take a look at the tablet, but it seems like it's got some kind of oppressive magic on it. I don't know that I want to take it into the temple. My best suggestion would be you take it to maybe to the cravats, or you hand it over to the military academy, and they could then send it on to Siendara or one of the major cities like Vicenni, and they could study it. But maybe they've even fought something like that before. But certainly for me as a priest, and she looks at acolytes and they're just like, oh. We've not seen anything like this at all. If you like, you're welcome to look through the books in the temple. We have a few tomes, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know that they would be of much use to you, I'm afraid.
So I guess Sparrow, who's the captain of the Blue Cravats? I mean, I've met him a few times, but never in a state that I can remember. Is he even a guy?
Yes. Hold on.
My ears prick up when she says books.
So do mine, but for probably different reasons.
Yeah, there's basically there's a blue cravat, which basically is the guy police for Viazzo, but because the princess is in town, there's a few others. But the
Oh.
guy who's like the policeman for the town is called Giuseppe.
Okay. Okay. Well, I guess can we just leave this body, and I kind of pull the tarpaulin back over its face and head. Can we leave this here, and I'll go, kind of let Giuseppe know. I think I saw him in town square actually.
Yes. She calls over even more acolytes, and like there's now a group about 5 of them. And she's just like, look, you take this end, you take that end, just take it round there. Make sure nobody sees it. Keep it out of sight. Don't let anybody touch the tablet for the goodness. In fact, give me the tablet. She sort of like takes it and goes and. She's like, yes, okay, you can leave this with us. We'll hand it over to Giuseppe and the others, and maybe we can get it. At least quarantine it for now. Keep it away from people because this is clearly dangerous.
Okay. Kind of. Yeah.
Might I offer my services? You said you have books. I would.
Of course.
I would love. I feel it's an obligation of mine to perhaps read through them, see if we can find any information prudent to our situation to this creature.
Yes, of course. In fact, of course, you. Not only have you done this, it was my request and you fulfilled it. So look, follow me into the temple. And I'll show you
does
to
that
the
mean we get the
library.
seal?
Yes, of course.
Can I hold it, please, guys? Guys, can I hold it, please?
I mean, you can have it. I don't think we really.
Just to be clear, you're inviting me into your temple.
So if you follow her into the temple, she'll head to the back, and it's like there's the altar, and there's like a couple of big doors either side of it, and she takes you into the left one, and it's inside. It's a fairly modest sized. It's not like a huge library, but it's got a few bookshelves of like old tomes and scrolls, dusty old things, and a few stools that you could sit on, stuff like that. Maybe like some maps. And she takes you in there, and you all take a seat, and she's like, yes, of course, just wait here, and I'll go and get the seal for you. She scurries out, comes back a minute later, and she pulls it out, and it's like wrapped up in a little cloth. She presents you with a familiar, just like you had before, like this round gold disc with etched in it this 6-winged eagle, much like on the flag of Galanar, which you've now all seen, thanks to a resident artist. She hands over. She's like, I understand you don't need this, but I mean, you've completed the task. I'll hand it over to you, and it's up to you what you do with it.
I bite it.
Yes, it's solid gold. The library is yours to look around as you see fit. We don't have much in the way of gold or rewards to give you, but I can offer ceremonies and healing magic if you require any time you're around.
We've got a guy who does ceremonies.
Identification, perhaps?
I will ask around. Maybe perhaps one of the acolytes is able to. I think if you want something like that, probably you would need to speak to Sousa. In fact, I could ask him to do it as a favour to me as part of your reward, if you like.
Do you have any books on animals?
Oh yes, my little goblin. I'm sure there's plenty of books on the local fauna and that sort of thing. Perhaps even some mythological tomes that tell of large, scary beasts.
Oh, that eye's big, saucer size big. Gets all excited and goes on the hunt for those.
So
I'm going to
am
begin
I
ritual
to
cast into magic.
Okay.
So am I to understand that all of this paper is filled with information?
Yes. This is it's the library, and this is in all temples we like to store records of the history. It's very important to the world that we remember the mistakes of the past.
You write your history down.
Yes, very, very important.
I guess, Sparrow, like, I am looking for some particular information. Do you have anything on the Velamaran battlegrounds, particularly the Vault of Silaran? Silara? Am I saying that? Do you know the kind of what I speak of?
I am not personally familiar, but there are certainly going to be some tomes on the recent war. It's been advised that we keep these away from the general public, but she hands you over like a little key, and she's like, if you go over behind there, and there's like a little alcove door, you'll find some of the more sensitive tomes.
Ooh.
Ooh. I imagine, like, as the key is held out in his kind of feathery fingers, Lysander just snatch.
I'm ritual casting detect magic, so I'm kind of like midway through my book, because I'm like, sensitive.
I do ask that you don't take any tomes out of here, and anything that you learn in the sensitive area, please, if you could not share with the general populace. Clearly.
Okay, that's completely fair. So I guess I'm gonna. So just one question, Sousa, is he an acolyte or is he someone in town?
Oh no, Sousa. He runs the. Surely you've seen his shop. He runs the. It's called Sousa's Scriveners, I believe, and he's a minor enchanter, and he does some small magical spells for people. He has some minor magical items and does those sorts of things. He's the local wizard, really, but to be honest, he's not very powerful, though he likes to tell people that he is.
Oh, interesting. I mean, I think we found something we can speak to him about. I don't usually go to Sousa's, I usually stop by Kerrick's. But yeah, I guess somewhere we can go afterwards. I wouldn't mind checking out the books that you have here, though.
Of course, you are welcome to do so. You can spend as long as you like. And if you require any food or drinks or place to rest, you're always welcome in the temple.
Okay.
Unless there's anything else, I shall go attend to my flock, and you can come and summon me if required.
Beautiful. Can I keep this key, or do I need to leave it with you afterwards?
If you could leave it with me or one of the acolytes as you're leaving, that would be greatly appreciated.
Okay. So, return to the party.
She shows herself out and just leaves you in this small library, no bigger than like a bedroom or something like that. It's just one small room.
Guys, this place is incredible.
This can't be the first time you've seen a book during the...
I've taken a book off the shelf, dust, and I'm flicking through it. There's writing everywhere. I'm flicking the pages. There's more writing and more writing. I don't understand how there's this. You know, my father and my mother told me everything I need to know. The rest comes from nature. The rest comes from what you see and what you hear. But this is just written words about everything. It's amazing.
So, do you understand any of this? Do you know how to read?
Absolutely, yes. I can read. I've seen books. You know, I've seen books, but you know, I've seen stories written. But these are fallacies. These are mythical stories, not truth on pages. Incredible.
Yeah. So I guess let's see if we can find out more about where we're going. You're right there, Truffle. It's just biting this.
No, Truffle's sat there reading his book.
Oh,
He's reading about G-Wars, or whatever they're really called.
Yeah, like the local fauna of Nortigalia, which is the region that you're in, or something like that.
Which Meta, I will ask later on if you've got a few interesting creatures that I can talk about later.
So
wonderful.
Yeah, so I guess quickly, I'd just like to kind of see if there's anything more on the vault. Anything that kind of might help us that I don't already know or assume the party know about.
You may. What would it be? Roll an investigation.
One.
So natty one, ladies and gentlemen.
You pour through tomes, but you cannot find any mention of what you're looking for. Unfortunately.
And you're going to paper cut.
I think I'm just getting frustrated at this point. I'm like, ugh.
Maybe you're kind of just like going, "Oh, come on, where is it?" She's like, "No," sort of thing.
Yeah, and then, you know when you're reading a book, and you just realise you're about 4 pages in to a point, and you're like, I can't remember what I read 4 pages ago. I think kind of she's having that, and she's tired. I put the books back.
Has it been 10 minutes yet?
Yes.
I open my magic eyes and peer around, looking for any magical books, tomes, scrolls, coins, stones.
You don't see anything in this room that is magical, other than the things that you have on you.
What about in the sensitive area?
No, you can see. Normally you would see like through a wall or whatever something shining or glowing, perhaps, but you can't see anything in there. Just seems like you're in a library full of perhaps books.
Damn. I would love to pore through the sensitive material, looking for anything prudent to my personal mission.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to remember your personal mission. Yes, okay, you can roll an investigation as well.
Okay.
You're not looking for anything about what Akali was searching for, I assume?
No. I will also guidance myself on this.
There's definitely some microphone issues happening somewhere.
I believe it's me. I'm not sure why.
It's bees, everyone.
It's
Bees.
definitely bees.
A natural 20.
Oh, a natural 20.
Okay. Can you just whisper me and say what it is that you're looking for? I will give you an answer.
Washboard abs.
Other than that, is anyone else doing anything else in here? I mean, I kind of made your check already, really, so you got ready.
I'm done.
Yeah. Truffle's just looking at books about animals, I guess.
Yep.
Durindar, anything else?
No, I've just been flicking through all of the books on the shelf that I was standing next to. There are books on the floor, there are books on the table next to me, and I'm currently flicking through another book.
Garland's flicking through the books, and he's like, I do not see anything of interest in these tomes, I'm afraid, my friends. So yeah, you spend some time, perhaps hours, in the library pouring through tomes, but you don't find anything relating to Silarar, Velamar, battlefields, or anything like that.
I guess if you allow me, I would like to just double check. I guess kind of as I'm sat there watching everyone else just kind of go about reading books, I'm just kind of thinking. I think I remember the dream I had in the cabin, and so I guess I'm looking for anything to do with Castellan or Fortress worlds. Just anything obviously that stands out as kind of pointing to any of these two subjects.
I will allow you to make another investigation check for that.
Oh, I guess I just sat there, right, staring at my feet. And
But this counts as you also spending a lot more hours here. Perhaps the rest of the day here.
I rolled 20.
Okay, roll a 20. So, let me think about Castellans. You probably find a book that maybe not necessarily is like a detailed information, but it's like got various references to the Castellans, and the fact that they are, they've been around for a long time. There's this lineage of like builders, and they are famous for a number of things, for helping build in Ilo, the capital of Sindel, for building in the realm of the Titans. They helped them. They helped build in the capital of Galanar, which is called Cagliari, and one of their greatest achievements, and probably the most notorious of all, for good or ill, is called the Ebon Citadel, which is a huge fortress in the centre of the capital of Salandria. And it is notoriously impregnable and untouchable by magic.
Okay, cool. So I don't think anything I didn't really know before.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you had heard these things, but it probably maybe goes into more detail about the history and maybe some names and things like that. But for the
Okay, cool.
sake of everyone and viewers, it's some information.
I've just thought of something I want to know.
Okay.
If possible, I'd like to look up civilizations and about Lior. I want to see if there's anything about how they heal or look after each other or medicine, anything like that in the history. I know I've got to look for an artificer, but I wanted if there's anything I can find in the tomes about Lior and.
Please
and
don't
anything
roll
like that.
another natural 20.
I can roll if you'd like me to roll.
Yes.
We
Okay,
want
I won't.
information. We want information. Tell us all of your lore now.
Up to an 8.
You Truffle, he looks around, he tries to find references to Lior, but you only find general information. You don't find anything that might tell you about how to repair one when it's damaged, only that they seem to be unaffected by, they can't just be repaired by normal healing magic. It takes something a lot more specific or more powerful or both.
Okay, cool. And with that, I will close my book and start to find everyone else and see if we're moving. And
Yeah, what
How
time
long
is
have
it?
we been
What
doing
time is it, guys? I have no idea. Should we go outside?
Yeah, I think at this point, if you did go outside, you would see that it was probably dark.
he said they're like casinos, so just pump oxygen into those rooms. Isn't
You're like, oh god, what the hell? How long have we been in here?
it?
Does it still look like some of the shops in town are open?
I think it's pretty quiet, especially considering the market was closed. A lot of people have been sort of maybe just stayed in and sort of quarantined themselves. They locked themselves down for a whole day. But yes, I was about to say yes. I think this is probably a good time to have a quick break. We'll be back in 5 to 10 minutes, and you guys can decide what you're going to do next, other than presume sleeping.
Read more.
Yes. Adam, I think I will come back to you separately with something more meaningful than something I make up on the spot. Okay?
Beautiful. All right, cool. 5-10 minutes.
So we will go on a quick break and returning soon. See you shortly.
Woo!
Bye.
Bye.
And we're back.
Woo, 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 woo! Energy!
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 Energy! Oh, perfect music. Oh, I thought it was the funky song.
Oh, let's get the funky song.
Yes! Truffle man, put your loot away.
No, this is. Don't try and change me, man.
Okay, so you guys, what did you just do? You just finished looking around in the library for basically the whole afternoon, evening. You emerged out in front of the temple. It's quiet in town. It's dark, and it's it's the evening. Not many people around, and you are free to do what you want. If you're just going to turn in for the night, we can breeze over that part and say you're doing the usual, unless you're doing anything specific.
No, I'll just go back to the apartment that I guess I've still got and just bed down for the night. Oh. Yeah.
Oh? Oh?
No.
Oh?
No. That's it.
Okay, cool. So you all just go into your usual sleeping places, maybe in the Blushing Gnome, or you go to your apartment, or Durandal, wherever it is that you sleep. Who knows?
Are there any trees around?
There's plenty of trees around in this sort of location, yeah.
I find the closest tree to the apartment where they're staying, being that I've never stayed in a hotel before.
Oh, they're not staying in a hotel. Truffle is staying in the back room of an inn, and Akane is staying in the actual room, I believe.
Yep.
And Lysander has got like his own private apartment that he's rented out.
Yeah, baby.
Then I shall stay outside, next to some trees.
Cool.
I think as well, I'm just going to spend the evening telling the tale of how we defeated the wolves and this creature in the forest to whoever wants to buy me a drink.
Yeah, and of course Zemsel is there, playing his lute as usual.
It's nowhere near as good as what's playing right now. It's shit, is what
And
it
he's
is.
like, "Oh, Akane, can I write a song from your adventure? Would you tell me your
hate
tale?"
him.
Yeah, and I basically just, I'm sat there. I do it for a while before I kind of notice Truffle's sulky looks, and I kind of just, the friendship means more, so I'll break off. I get quiet. I'd rush the end, and I kind of go back to telling the rest of the group about it.
It's like, oh, I understand, yes. You don't want to tell all of the details. I'll breeze over
I'm at the
it.
table playing
I'll
this
make
song.
you sound heroic.
And I just wink it. I wink at him. Cheers, Zemzel.
He's like, ding!
Yeah. I think I keep trying to bring Truffle into the conversation, and this happened, didn't it, Truffle?
Truffle is literally playing along, just playing some sweet lute music.
What, whilst they're sitting
Yeah,
having a
whatever. While they're
conversation?
talking, I'm just literally looting.
He's like, oh, Truffle,
Yeah.
you play a very fine song there. Is that one of
Oh,
your
I
own
didn't even-
compositions?
I don't even realise I'm playing some of the time. I'm just. This is nothing. This is just one I.
Truly, you are born for the life of the bard. Perhaps you should come and play on stage someday.
I don't need to perform to know that I'm good. The music comes to me. I mean,
Oh.
anyone's a real musician knows that music just comes to them, right?
Well, I suppose I'm not a real musician, but I am happy to
I-
be who I am.
Hey, you said it, not me.
Well, I will leave you to your evening and
Cool, go
return
back
to
on stage.
my-
See you later, Zemso.
Oh,
Yep, excellent. Cool, brilliant.
Akane, Truffle,
See
it's
you,
your
see you,
pals.
Yeah, go fuck yourself.
see you around, Zemzel. It's a pleasure.
I love Zemzel's just a nice guy. Just
Yeah.
Long
So
rest.
I just do that all night, and then I think we turn in the wee hours of the early morning, kind of when it starts. I'm definitely one of the last ones down there, though.
Cool. So yeah, the bar starts to clear out, and you head upstairs to bed, and then we pick up the following morning. You're all rested.
Truffle's in the kitchen, making breakfast.
Can we hand wave that I attuned to this thing at some point during the evening and or morning?
Yes, it's just wearing it for an hour or something, isn't it?
I mean, Temi is studying it for a short rest.
So yeah, you're now attuned to it.
Okay. Are there any other effects other than the one you told me?
Nope.
Cool.
Pretty good effect.
I've got the
Pretty
sword.
good
I've got the sword, haven't I?
You have got the sword, or whoever's. Yeah, you picked it up, right? Yeah. So, yeah, it's just like it's a short sword, clearly a short sword, quite well made. It's got like some slight engravings on it, but it's fairly plain other than the fact that it is clearly finely made and glowing.
Oh, okay. Do you know what? I would probably wake up in the morning and probably spend about an hour investigating this. I think kind of the craftsman in me, or craftswoman should I say, would be a bit curious. So I would definitely try to attune and figure out. And I understand magic items, right? I've crafted some in the past.
Are you attuning to it specifically?
No, actually, no, I'm not. No. Can I figure it out without attuning to it?
You need identify. If you attune to it, I'll tell you the effects that you gain.
No, I wouldn't attune to it. I don't use swords.
But if you cast identify, I can tell you everything about it.
Then no, I would inspect it. So I think I'd know it's a fine weapon, but I wouldn't attune to it.
Yeah. So yeah, yeah, you're all awake. You presumably meet up somewhere.
Yeah.
Maybe the Blushing Gnome. It seems to be like a regular haunt for everyone. So what's the plan? What are you guys going to do with the day now?
So I'd like to. I think we're going to stop by Suze's very quickly and just call in the favour to identify the sword and group. Let's agree before we go. Then go to Kerrick's and sell the breastplate. Get rid of our bent goods as soon as possible.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Anything else, guys? Do we want to kind of just skip past it, or does anyone want to particularly roleplay?
I would like to just see if Suze is selling anything, any magical tomes, scrolls, spells. Daddy wants magic.
Okay, so all right, we head to Suze's then. And I guess we're going to roleplay. So I guess I'm going to open the door.
I will be doing my best to persuade him to give me the magic.
Okay, bear with me a second. I need to roll some stuff if we're going to be doing that.
Do you want a Sousa song? Have we got a Sousa theme song? I don't think we've got a Sousa.
Play the classic then.
You want to say one again?
Yeah, please. It's what the people want. Give the people what they want. That is definitely Sousa's.
I mean, it's pretty dope.
Oh no!
Just give me a couple of seconds to roll up some.
I can't believe
How can I download it?
I mean, it's on Spotify. If anyone's really interested, I've got the Spotify playlists available to share. This is called Viazzo Vibes.
Oh, Viazzo Vibes.
Viazzo Vibes.
And one more.
You can feel the vibes.
Oh, there it is.
Oh gosh.
Mediterranean Sea instrumentals.
Okay, right.
So you head over to Sousa Scrivener's, and it's a little ways off the beaten track of the main sort of market road, which is why you maybe don't visit it that often, but it's very clearly distinguishable. It's got like a brightly painted roof, sort of multicoloured, and it's got this sign outside with like a big swirl of colours like hanging on it. One of these normal sort of like iron signs with a wooden thing hanging off on chains, and it's got a big oaken door and a little thing like a bit of paper hammered in next to the door, and it says on it, "No enchantments on your armaments."
Oh no!
And if you go inside, the second you open the door, there's like a party popper sort of thing over your head, and like a little sound of like, yeah, like a round of applause and people cheering, and then this this half this half elf guy in like this vest, like finely tailored vest, and his hair's like tied up in these braids, and he's like, "Hello, welcome to Sousa's."
Oh my god, I love him. I love him so much.
Welcome. And there's like this place is like crammed with magical trinkets of things which are like like
Oh,
little
Zonko's got
like little glowing things that are spinning, and like little like propellers and like little clocks and things like that, and it's just like all higgledy-piggledy and wonky and, you know, classic kooky magic shop kind of guy.
Love it. I love him so much.
And it's like, welcome, come in, welcome to Sousa's Scriveners, and who might you be, my wonderful customers? I have not seen your faces around these parts before.
I just look at Truffle. Oh my god! I can imagine.
Truffle's just nodding. Truffle knows this store. Truffle has been in this store multiple times.
He's like, oh, Truffle, welcome back, my friend.
Welcome back yourself, Sousa.
I think Lysander is going to. He's not the one who goes in. I think Akane, did you go in first?
Yeah, I went in first. Yeah.
So I think
Akane just gets all these
after
like bits of confetti in her face, like.
I'm trying.
I think after seeing this enigmatic kind of character, I will just turn my head down and just swipe my hand over my face, and I am now the more city version of Lysander, the effeminate, beautiful, androgynous one.
Okay, cool.
Imagine you just push past me, right? Like kind of, it's like, just like stuff on me. I'm like blowing it out my face. As soon as it comes out, hello, and all of a sudden, Lysander. What's your catchphrase again? When you say stuff like?
Have I got a catchphrase?
Yeah, you say something like hello, or what do you say when you see? Yeah, cooey, or.
No, he's not as camp as that, but he's like, Sousa, is it?
Ah, my friend, welcome. Come in. Can I interest you in a knick-knack or a little device of my making? Or are you here for enchantments?
We are here for the Sparrow sent us actually as a favour.
Sparrow. Oh, you're the one she sent here for the identification. Yes.
Yes, I believe my friend here, Akane. Introductions,
yes,
perhaps.
Yes, please. My name is Sousa, and I run this fine establishment.
I am Lysander Linden. Pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Lysander Linden. He reaches a hand out for a handshake.
I gingerly put my hand in.
Lysander.
But kind of like one of those, like not a handshake, like a.
He just doesn't even notice. He's like, yes, okay.
I think yeah. Oh, sorry, you introduced me.
No, I was just gesturing to you.
No, but I think
he's like,
and I'm like, my name's Akane, and like I go to shake his hand, but actually I've got the sword in it, and I just kind of clamp the scabbard in his hand, his open hand.
Oh, what is this fine contraption you are going? This is what you wish to identify?
So, I mean, you could tell us.
Oh, yes. Well, I certainly could. Yes. Well, I knew this was coming, so I have saved some of my magical powers. I have turned away a couple of customers just for you, I'll have you know.
He's like the Del Boy of magic.
He pulls out the sword a little bit out of the scab, and he's like, oh my goodness, this is fine work. Where did you find this piece?
We found it. Upon. It was laying in a barrel next to an old farmhouse. That
laying in a barrel next to it. Oh, I cannot believe such a thing would be discarded.
Well, there was a monster afoot, and we happened to slay that monster. It was kind of a big deal.
I'm just kind of taking a step back at this point as Lysander's talking about how, kind of where we found it. I'm just like, I'm not believing the lie. I'm like,
chat has just popped up. Lysander is a liar.
Yeah. I've been saying that. Akane's been saying that for a while.
Well, do you want to tell? Oh, we nicked it off a dead body.
I mean, you could roll deception, but I don't think he is he doesn't seem like he's particularly suspicious. He's just happy to see you, it seems like, and he's like, yeah, I'll help you if that's what you're saying. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, this is definitely the item that you want, and did you want any other services? Perhaps I could interest you in some enchantments or some magical items or scrolls, or he pulls out some bottles and he's like of various colours, like perhaps some potions.
I think perhaps all of the above, darling. But first, I think we need to get the sword identified.
Oh, yes, very well. Okay, I will need a moment of quiet, if you please. And he sort of puts the sword down on the counter, and he gets out from a little pouch this pebble. Not pebble, pearl, sorry. And he just pops it in his mouth. And he sort of... Yes, and he's sort of like making a big theatrical show of it. But I think maybe you guys, especially the magical ones, will probably realise he's doing probably a lot more than he really needs to cast this spell. And yeah, so he says, "Okay, yes, this is definitely a very magical item. Yes, okay, and it will. If you use this item, not only will you be stronger in battle, apart from its ability to light up the surroundings, you will move faster. Tells me its name is Swiftfeather."
Swiftfeather. And is it a short sword or is it a long sword?
It is a short sword. And it will give you 20 foot of light. It will give you plus 10 feet movement speed, and it is a plus 1 long sword, a short sword.
Holy potato chips.
That's pretty good for you, Trough.
For me?
Yeah, you need to be mobile in battle.
Mobile, agile, virile.
Well, we know what it is now, so...
Okay.
I'm not sure if you need to be virile in battle.
Virile. Wolf.
He says, "Of course, here you go. You have your sword back. Is there anything else that Sousa can get for you today?"
I don't know about the others, but I'd be very interested in any magical scrolls you have, especially of the ritualistic nature.
Ritualistic?
Do you want me to tell you what I'm looking for?
Yes.
I'm looking for Identify or Tensor's Floating Disc, I think.
He doesn't have either of those.
God damn it.
Signified by him rummaging around underneath the desk and then pulling open a bunch of cupboards. And he's like looking at a scroll. He's like, no, that's not it. No, not this one. No, I don't.
Do you have any
it.
pearls for sale?
Oh, yes, I think I might have a spare one around here somewhere. He sort of wipes off the one that he was using. That's mine, of course. Yes. No, not here. He pulls out a little velvet pouch, plops it on the counter. He's like, "This could be yours for a simple 100 gold pieces."
Well, do you have any inks? Magical inks?
Yes, of course, plenty. I use them every day. Any magical ink?
I'll put some magical inks in there as well.
If you buy the pearl, I'll throw in the ink for free. Call it a deal.
And I yank on Lysander's sleeve and pull him down to my level. I've only got 77. That's all I have.
Don't worry, it'll be fine.
And I give him all of my GPs.
What, to Caesar or to Lysander?
To Lysander.
Durandar, Arcane, do you require anything magical?
So I guess what enchantments do you do? Is it just weapon enchantments? I saw a sign outside.
You've seen the place that we live in. It's not exactly particularly exciting. Most of my days I'll spend enchanting someone's shovel or their hammer for working in their workshop, working on the farm. What I will not do, as you see the sign outside, no enchantments on your armaments. I will not get involved with any kind of soldiers or war. I don't want to be a part of anything like that anymore. I don't want to remember the war, like I'm sure none of you do.
What will you put enchantments on then?
Well, anything that is not martial in nature.
What sort of enchantments can you do?
The usual. And Meta, he's like really basic enchanting magic, which is what is it?
Polishes your armor, makes it super clean.
Yeah, he like yeah, it's really lame stuff. Spellcasting.
I'll take lame.
By school.
I'll take lame enchantments over no enchantments, as long as they're not like 1,000 gold.
It's going to be quite expensive though, won't it?
I don't know. We'll see. Don't worry. Let me chat to him.
Yeah, I'll let you do all the talking.
Give me a chance to work my magic.
I think from a practical standpoint, he would literally be like blessing people's tools and things like that, so that they could work easier, which is not really a practical spell as such. But if you wanted him to cast a specific enchantment spell, low level one, he'd probably know it.
Okay.
And he knows like illusion magic, as you can probably tell.
So mechanically, it's a spell with an enchantment tag on it, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. And how much are these enchantments, darling?
Oh, depends what you're after.
Something to sleep, maybe. Maybe something to.
Want to sleep?
Something to. I don't know. I'm literally looking at the spell list, the enchantment spell list. Something to viciously.
I think I would
mock.
probably not focus on this too much, guys.
Okay.
Yes.
So no, I think
Unless
I think
you
that-
know there's something specifically you want, I would just breeze over it.
Yeah. So I think Durandara, what are you doing at this point?
I haven't gone into the shop. I've been too busy staring in the window. Magic is of great interest to me. I've learnt a very small amount of it following the path that I've gone down.
The doors are a challenge.
I haven't even managed to get into the shop yet. The outside is too interesting, having never been to a town. So I'm still outside.
Well, perhaps we can just take the inks and the pearl. For I don't know. I give him a little look up and down. 70 gold.
I believe the deal was 100 gold pieces for the bundle deal, no?
Is there no way I can convince you otherwise?
He sort of like takes the pouch and sort of drags it back towards him. He's like, I don't know.
Oh, please!
Sounds like you're not that interested after all.
Well, I'm very interested for one.
I'm not, and I aloofly walk away, trying to look cool.
See you again, Truffle!
So long, bitches!
So long!
Okay, alright. 90.
What's in it for me? 90.
Ah. Well, when we're...
Try and
gone to the
persuade me,
table-
why don't you?
I am trying to persuade you. Let me persuade you. Can I guidance myself?
If you just want to say you're trying to persuade him, then
Oh, yes, I am.
you may
yeah.
do that.
Boom! Fucking hell. Natural one. I'm off my game.
That's charisma, right?
Yep. He
got 20, yeah.
Yep. Fine, 100.
He's like,
You're a man of
pleasure
impeccable
doing
taste,
business
I
with
see.
you. It's like 1 pearl, and he gives you like a couple of pots and some quills, which is maybe like 2 servings of spell writing.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm looking for. Okay, and I will give him 100 gold.
Thank you very much, Lysander Linden. I hope to be seeing you again sometime.
I'm sure you will, darling.
Enjoy your new sword!
Just outside of that, if I was to attune with a sword but not actually use it in a fight, just wear it, would I still get the abilities granted by it?
Oh, I believe you would get the light, but you would have to be wielding it to get the speed and the strength of the sword.
Interesting. Nice one, Caesar. Thanks for that.
My pleasure, and very nice to meet you, Akane.
I just my umbrella clips the top of his door. Donk.
He's like,
Yeah, but sorry.
Right. Should we sell the rest of this?
Yeah, so we pop into Carrick's, and I guess do you want to sell the robe?
Yeah, I'll sell the cloak and we sell the breastplate and what else? Did we get anything else? No, the bolt and the So the cloak and the breastplate
Yeah.
she will offer you 300 gold for those two.
together.
Yeah.
I think we'll take that.
Yep. Okay. So that's
She's like,
300.
this is much better than my usual wear, sort of thing.
I mean, yeah, I kind of make a joke with her on the way out about having she should probably change her name from kind of odds and ends to something a bit more upmarket now.
Looks like it. I'm going to be able to compete with Dahlia.
Yeah, but it doesn't really land, and I think I just insult her.
Okay, cool. So yeah, that's 300 gold pieces, and remove the
I'll put it in the
breastplate
group.
and cloak.
Cool.
Okay, I'll put it in the group. All right, cool. So I think we're gonna head to.
Yeah, I think we're gonna head to the
Beatrice.
main man.
You're heading to the Mayor's Manor, right? Is that what you
Yes.
did? Okay. So
Yeah.
you head up there as you've done a couple of times before, and you once again see this big manor with the little conservatory garden on the side, and there's just one blue cravat standing guard at the moment. And it seems like around the side, outside, like around the side of the house, there's some of the princess's knights are fussing around with like some packs and like some crates and some horses and things like that. And he's just like, yes, you are the adventurers from before, yes? What can I do for you?
So we're looking. We're looking. I think we're looking to leave. Have you been able to prepare everything that we asked for, Siren?
You are currently speaking to a blue cravat at the gate of the Mayor's Manor.
Sorry.
You do not have free access to wander in to see the princess.
So we'd like to speak to Syrian, or just kind of just leave. I guess we were promised we're the group of adventurers that we're gonna.
You're free to leave whenever you like.
Yeah. On that one, we kind of were promised some horses and some supplies and rations.
He's like, this is outside of my jurisdiction. I'm going to go talk to someone else. Wait here. And he wanders up to the house and heads inside. And a minute later, he comes out with Syrian sort of shuffling along, like sort of old, wrinkled dragon scales. And he comes up to the gate and he's like, "Oh, wasn't expecting to see you back here again. What can I do for you?"
Sorry, Syrian. Maybe it's just my recollection of events, but kind of we've just been away helping Sister Sparrow out with the problem she was hampering. What did we agree? Kind of in terms of our horses and the carts.
Oh yes, they should be here. Any day now. They'll arrive at the stables in town, and we'll send message to your accommodations. Let you know when they're here.
Okay. And I guess
need not come and ball the princess. She doesn't deal with these sort of day-to-day matters. I'm sure you understand.
That's why I was bothering you. I'm sure you understand.
Oh yes, I all know all too well. Was there something specific you? I'm afraid the horses aren't here yet. Is there anything else I could do for you? You say you were helping young Sparrow at the temple?
Yeah, I guess I don't know. She said she was going to let Giuseppe know, and I don't know if that filtered back to you. But
yes, there were some reports you received from him. I haven't been through them yet. Perhaps you could apprise me of the situation.
Yeah, really quickly. The wildlife around the area seems to be infected. This was causing animals to go a bit crazy.
Mm-hmm.
As we got closer to the source, which we were investigating, we found it in a farm to the north past the river. It was actually this creature that was giving off this kind of evil, as one of our party members calls it, death scent. It's hard to explain actually unless you really go through it. Anyway, we defeated it. We also found a stone which kind of gave off a very a slight version of the same aura. We brought both the creature and the stone back to Sparrow for some potential investigation.
I'd very much like to have a look at that stone. Your tale has intrigued me. Yes, I will look into this myself, but it certainly seems something that perhaps the princess might want to know about. So you succeeded in completing this task, and was there anything else that I need to know about the situation?
Anyone?
No, I don't think so.
No, I think that's it, Syrian. I mean, I think kind of I think we're ready to go. Just remind me quickly, how do we get back in touch with you? Kind of is it this kind of this bag that you gave us?
And he points to the pouch that whoever's got it. It's like a little mini messenger bag, and he's like, yes, you take the piece of paper out of there, and you write on it with the quill present, place it in there, and in my version of the pouch, we'll get a copy of the message.
Perfect. I just draw a line on one of the pieces of paper just to kind of test it works.
He sort of opens up his little pouch. It's much more old and worn than yours, and he looks at it and he's like, oh yes, it's definitely working. I would appreciate it perhaps if you maybe didn't use it quite so whimsically. Probably shoves it back in his bag. It's like, so Sparrow was one of the holders of the seals, yes? You have the seal? Or did she give it to somebody else?
I don't really.
I hand over the seal. I have it.
Oh, I was just in the middle of lying as well. I was like, no. I imagine like Truffle, like. Kick.
Not only have you completed one task, but completed two. The princess will be very pleased to hear that she has such dedicated followers. Obviously, you already have the mission. Is there anything else you would ask of us?
Yeah, can I have the seal back? Please.
You may have it. It's not magical. It's simply a lump of gold,
I just
really.
like it.
You're welcome to keep it, young Truffle. Here you go.
Thank you.
Good boy, yes.
I mean, is there an appropriate reward? Perhaps?
Well, I mean, we could. We will be leaving soon, but we could certainly ask someone to furnish you with anything. If there's any goods or things that you need from town, we could ask one of the shopkeepers to furnish you with it, or we could simply pay for anything that you require.
There might be some on this quest. There might be some dealings to be had, maybe some bribes to be made. So you can't go wrong with gold.
Oh, you're speaking of financial aid. Yes. I don't expect it would be too difficult to give you a little something. It certainly pales in comparison to what we spent on the horses and contracts.
Exactly. And this is just to maybe line the pockets of people who maybe aren't very lubricate the hands of people that wouldn't normally let us buy or whatnot.
Truffle turns his nose up at that statement.
Yeah, I'm kind of like feeling like it was directed at me as well.
It's like, well, if one of you would follow me in, I will go and speak with the princess and we will come to an arrangement. And we will furnish you with some gold you may take with you.
I will step forward without.
I think I start to step forward because I'm just used to going first everywhere.
I like put my cane just in front of your foot, in front of your feet, like no.
It's like yes, follow me. He shuffles back into the house, leaving the rest of you at the gate with the blue cravat, just sort of like shuffling around awkwardly. And he takes you up to the room you're familiar with. and he asks you to just wait at the door as he goes inside, and you sort of like waiting there looking at, and the princess is sitting at the desk like writing some papers or some contracts of some sort.
Make sure I'm clean.
Nomo is just standing there looking like a giant stone man, not moving at all, glaring at you. And,
He's only got one. Like, does he have any dots on his face? I was just curious about this one.
He's just got like, so the Layor have like this. Their face is like smooth crystal, and they have like expressions which are like lines and dots, which are just like moving around, basically.
Yeah.
Garland's one is usually like 3 lines, like that.
Okay.
Nomo's is I don't know, haven't thought about it, but it's probably different.
Okay.
But it's a similar sort of thing.
Got
But
ya.
it's covered up by a helmet most of the time. So yeah, Syrian shuffles over and sort of. Prince is like, oh, another seal? Oh. Lysander, come here. Approach.
I approach and dignified, head bowed, as dignified as possible.
You managed to acquire yet another seal. You seem to be awfully keen to impress.
Well, it was more happen chance. I must admit, the attack by the wolves on the market led us to the Sparrow. She asked us to investigate the happenings.
And you
what's
simply
going on.
followed out of the good of your heart, I assume.
Well, it was horrific, horrible. We were in the market when the attack happened.
I did hear about it. Quite horrific.
Indeed. We fought the wolves off. Unfortunately, the town member perished. Well, yes, we pursued these wolves the Sparrow was talking about, and we happened upon this awful creature. We've actually brought it back to town because I've never seen anything like it before, and neither of my companions. We thought it was best to bring here for some study. If there's more of these around, who knows what could happen.
And she's all the while she's just like leaning back in her chair, watching you with these piercing, gold-rimmed eyes, just like reading everything that you're saying and doing. She's like, yes. Syrian, arrange for this body to be brought in. We need to examine it properly. Can't leave it with the locals. He's like, oh, yes, Your Majesty, I'll get right on it.
Then there was also a crystal tome that was giving off this horrible aura. That we've also brought that back. That is also with the body.
Yes. Syrian, please see to that as well. We need the whole thing. Bring it back and don't let anybody see. He's like, yes. Of course. Your Highness, Your Majesty, I did promise Lysander, he brought another of the seals. I promised him that we would offer some monetary recompense. She's like, oh, yes, okay. And how much are you looking for, Lysander? How much do you need?
However much your grace deems to be fair. I'm sure on this journey we may need to, rather than use the sword, use our words and some gold to perhaps buy passage.
Yes. She calls Syria and Nomo over, and she just asks you to step away for a minute. But all with like hand movements, sort of thing. And they sort of murmur between themselves. She's like, very well, how does 1,000 gold sound?
Sounds most gracious.
She just sort of almost seems surprised that you so easily accept it. She's like, okay. Very well, fetch it from my personal coffers. It may come in different denominations, perhaps some bars and gems. Is that acceptable?
It is more than acceptable, your grace. Anything to help us on this quest you've given us.
Very good. And Syrian goes over to like this big coffer and opens it up and starts like it takes a little box out and fills it with some stuff. Hops over it. It's like a little ornate box, like it's about this big. And it's just full of like little gold and silver bars and like some gemstones, basically. He's like, there you go. Should be roughly 1,000 gold pieces. more or less.
How heavy is it?
A few kilograms, I would imagine.
I'm just like, oh god!
You're like, oh.
Oh, where's Jenkins when you need him? No, you're most gracious.
Of course, yes, and I cannot thank you and your adventure friends enough for helping out with our townsfolk. But I think it is time you should be on your way soon, no?
Yes, we are awaiting our horses and other travelling equipment that you have arranged for us as well, Your Highness.
She's like, very well. If there's nothing else, Syrian, please show our good guest out. Lysander. She stands up. Once again, this is of the utmost secrecy. You understand.
I understand secrets very well, Your Grace. A deep bow and walk backwards.
She just stands there watching you.
A turn at the last minute. Like,
She's got... You notice that more so than before, she's got a very... She's not even trying to smile or seem friendly. She's just like deadpan with these piercing, like, gold eyes. Just watching you.
Okay.
And then you sort of like shuffle and leave the room.
Yeah. This is heavy. As soon as I get outside, I just drop it on the floor. Ah! I managed to acquire some funds.
Jenkins like, oh, I got it.
Ladies and gentlemen.
What is
Thank
it?
you, Jenkins. It's 1,000 golds worth of
Oh!
gems, whatnot.
Wisdom.
I have never
What's on
seen
there
so
to do
much
with it?
money in my life.
We should. I don't know. We could. I'm sure we could divide it up amongst us. Make sure it's not used. This is for for bribes and.
Akane, we can finally get you an outfit like ours.
It's all right, Truffle. I think we should. I think we should probably save it and spend it on something of a bit more value that might help us in our quest.
As
I
much
mean,
as I'd love to see Akane in a beautiful dress, I do agree with her.
I don't know what you're
Taking
laughing
that
at.
long.
I'd like to see Druindar in a beautiful dress as well.
I don't think you'll catch me in a dress. Thank you very much, Lysander.
Don't knock it till you tried it, darling. So, shall we?
So I think we should wait. I think we should just do what we were doing before we got into the fight with the wolves. So I think we should just kind of give it another night or so, then
Yeah. So,
prepare ourselves.
Yep, so we can go on to just passing time at this point, I think.
Montage!
Nothing in particular is going to happen for the rest of the day, unless you guys haven't got any specific requests of places you want to go, people you want to talk to. It's going to be, actually, probably tomorrow. The princess and her entourage, they leave town in the morning. And sometime in the afternoon, a bunch of horses and a cart turn up at the stables, which is like a building next to the Blazing Torch Inn. And you get word, wherever you are, like a messenger boy or someone comes along, tells you that the horses arrived. And you go along to the stables. It's a fairly large stables, but it doesn't seem like it's too frequently used. Like, not many people own horses and that sort of thing around here. So it's just lots of open bays, and there is a horse for all of you. Truffle's got a smaller one, maybe a pony or something.
Oh, that's adorable.
But so
Is he
you've
just
got
as fast?
so you've got a horse for everyone. So you've got one for Kane, Lysander, Truffle, Garland, Jenkins. Durindar already has one, which we've discussed, and there's also a draft horse with a cart. Now the stats of all those things, I'll quickly go over it for you guys.
Ooh, stats.
Oh, nice.
The cart
Data.
has a 200-pound capacity, and the draft horse, it has a 540-pound capacity and speed 40, and so basically that's going to pull the cart, sort of thing.
So we
And
can
your-
stack them.
And your riding horses, capacity of 480 pounds and a speed of 60. And so
Including
they're faster.
mine?
yes, everyone's horses will be maybe look different, but they'll have the same stats. They all come with saddlebags and a saddle, and the saddlebags have got like various like brushes and whatever, and £15 worth of feed, which is 15 days worth of food. But you can stop and let them graze and feed and whatnot, and you will need to find water for them as you're riding around. The other thing you need to make note of, if you try to ride these horses in combat, because they're not war horses, you will need to make animal handling checks.
They are travelling horses only.
They are, yes, they are.
That also
horses.
stops the messy mounted combat mechanics, which are...
Unless we train them to be war horses.
War pony.
I believe my horse is a war horse, is it not?
Your horse is effectively the same stats as a riding horse. It's like a shaggy Shire horse looking type thing, but it's effectively a riding horse.
Fair enough.
Yes.
And how much did you say the horses could carry? Did you say?
So the normal riding horse is £480. But that's obviously including your weight.
Oh god, my pony's gonna get given excess stuff, isn't it?
Okay, those.
So
What
the
colour's my pony?
other things that you guys are going to want to think about, because you are slightly meta, you're about to go on what is a long journey, and you know it's going to be a long way, and you're heading through the Witherblock Woods, which is a large place, and you might not arrive at another settlement for a week, 2 weeks, so you want to make sure you've got food, water, bedrolls, travelling equipment, medical kits, cooking equipment, anything that you might want or you might need. Wine, for example.
Yes. Then when we go to withdrawal, all we
that's
go.
sort of
£500 of rice wine.
Yeah. So I guess we're gonna go to Dahlia's.
Mm-hmm. She would definitely have all of that kind of stuff. She
Yeah,
gets a lot of people.
We're gonna have to
after
work
that.
it all out. We need like 3 weeks of rations.
Yeah. Should we do 3 weeks? So
Rations. Do you want to do? Yeah. And then also water, maybe enough water for like a week because we could find it on the way. Top up.
okay. Yeah.
We've got the
Another.
tents from before, right?
We got the tents from before. We got the bedrolls from before. Of
We're
course.
going to need a repair kit. Whatever the so say for example the cart breaks. Do we have carpenter's tools or something like that?
Yeah. I could
You would
probably.
need carpenter's tools, yeah, for that.
I could probably do that, but I need some tools. Yeah, I've got my armor tools, but I need some wood. So we need some.
So
we need
find
some-
what you can find wood.
So we can take
Yeah.
carpenter's tools out of the group fund.
I think we can take all of it out of the group fund, right? We'll do 3 weeks worth of rations each.
Yeah.
1 carpenter's tools, plus wood, paneling. I'm gonna need a cask of wine a day.
I'm not taking your cask of wine out of the group fund. Savage.
Okay, fine. I'm gonna
Yeah,
need.
feed your own habit, brah.
Yeah.
So,
So, bottle of-
3 weeks of rations, so 21 times 5? Was it?
Does,
Oh, we've got Jenkins and
You got Jenkins.
well, I'd like a conversation with Jenkins before we go.
Of course, yes.
I guess I just like the day that we're leaving. I guess I just pull him to one side.
You're like, you're fired.
It's more of Jenkins. You've served me so well these past few months, and what we're about to do is very dangerous.
oh,
The fight with the battle with the white creature. There's going to be lots more of that, and I'm acutely aware that this is not this is not what you signed up for. If you like, we can end your contract here, and I will give you a handsome dowry, so to speak.
He's like, well, I would like to see the wife and kids again.
Of course. And I give him a small sack. Please tell me if this is enough.
He sort of comes a bit closer and he's like, "Are you sure you're going to be alright without me?"
These people, strange as they are, I think I'll be fine.
Well, I'll hang around town a while longer if you change your mind, boss. But I appreciate everything you've done for me.
You've been a good, you've been a good friend, Jenkins. Thank you.
Friend. He gives you a firm handshake with rough workman's hands.
And I give him a pouch of gold.
One pouch of gold.
One pouch
Gave him
of...
the sack whilst giving him the sack.
It's not really the sack. It's more...
Freedom.
Yeah, freedom. It's got 100 gold in it.
Ooh.
That should be enough.
I guess he'll take off the backpack and plop it on the cart. But that's all your stuff.
I shake his hand.
He goes around and shakes everyone's hand.
Aww.
Garland, Corny, nice knowing you. Durinder, you seem like
It was
a
good
nice
to
fella.
see you for this short period of time.
Look after Lysander, will you?
Of course.
And he sort of gives you all one final wave.
Say hi to the missus.
Will
Bye,
do.
Jenkins.
Bye everyone, and try not to get yourselves killed, will you?
I mean, we'll try.
I will see you again someday.
That sounded really ominous. Is that a threat? Did he threaten us?
I don't think your friend does, Truffle. And is Lysander crying?
Awesome cry.
Sweating from his eyes.
No. He is
Just a
holding-
mist.
He's holding it together.
Watch Jenkins wander off into the streets of Viazzo.
Into the night.
Yeah,
into the sunset.
Yeah, it's the middle of the morning, you know. There's people wandering around, and you eventually just he goes out of sight in the bustle of people.
I take a breath and I just look at everyone. Right. Who wants to hold all my stuff?
Not me.
You are joking, right, Lysander?
I believe that is what one calls a joke.
Oh, this is where he looks directly at the camera and goes, "Oh, guys." Yeah. In terms of things, I kind of just so that we're as a list. I've written it down in chat, but for the people, I would like a block and tackle, a shovel, some empty sacks, a crowbar, pitons, and I would like some flour to like, you know, like to like make bread and stuff.
Have you been watching 10 most less mundane items for adventurers?
No, I thought about this the other day and I was like, what if there are invisible things? And I thought, wouldn't flour be really useful?
How would
But
you
I
know where
suppose-
to use the flour?
I was going to say chalk for like climbing.
Indiscriminate flour.
Chalk.
tossing.
Just every time you're in a fight, just like chucking flour around, like
I
ah!
might not, I've got a little. I'll have a little satchel, little
Flower power.
belt,
Like
flower
pocket
power.
sand.
Yeah, all the other things awesome, but yeah, no, ignore the flour for now.
Keep that list, and in fact, we'll do it for next session if you can all
Yeah.
think of anything that you might need, and we'll just do a shopping list and take the gold out, and you have it at the start next session.
Fresh.
I've already figured out that I need £63 worth of, like that's weight-wise of wine. Which
A pound of frozen wine.
well, I need 1.4 litres a day for 21 days because I've got the. I'm a bit nervous about it. So yeah, that's £63. So I can put it in my horse. You're clinking. Been like a milk truck. Ding, 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 ding.
Several ounces of hand sanitizer that you start drinking when you run out.
Okay.
Um,
So, yeah.
so I think we'll probably stop soon, but we can just start the sort of heading out.
Band.
Unless there's anything else you guys want to do in Viazzo, we'll resolve off camera the shopping stuff, and I'll just tell you
I
how
would
much
like
it
to
costs.
just run off to the Blushing Gnome ever so quickly, say goodbye to Marcy, tell her that like I'm going on an adventure, it's finally happening, and I'll promise to write if I can. And
she's a little teary-eyed about leaving Miltron. She gives you a hug and she's like, oh, she gives you some food, like maybe a freshly baked pie or something. She's like, here, take this with you, and keep some meat on your bones and look after yourself and don't get hurt out there. You're a little lad. Come on.
I won't. And I give her a kiss on the cheek and hug her a little tighter, and then turn and run off to the group with my pie.
Nice pie.
Delicious. Cool.
Okay.
So I've already cut it into the amount, and I give everyone a slice.
Everyone gets an equal-sized slice of delicious rabbity pie. Ooh.
So technically, we have a leftover horse as well now, so that can go and pull the wagon as well.
Yeah, you can just have
free
a horse.
£1,000 of stuff.
It's pretty good in case one of the horses dies.
Yeah.
Horse pie.
Or we have to eat it.
Yeah, in terms of the journey and what you're going to be doing. So you will... I guess you probably would have also gotten directions from Syrian or someone telling you where you should be going, what you should be doing. And it's basically you're going to head out west out of town onto the Dusk Trail and follow it north. And follow it for quite a while, and eventually it'll start curving off eastwards, and there'll be a point where a sort of a dirt trail leads off of the proper road heading north, and if you follow that trail maybe an hour or so, you will reach the Witherbark Woods, and Durindar probably know that probably quite well, this travelling up this way.
I know the trail, though I've never travelled it.
Yeah, so and it's going to be a sort of, maybe if you rode constantly, you might get there tomorrow sometime, sort of thing. So that's the sort of distance. And once you get into the Witherbark Woods, it's going to be slow travel. You're going to either have to dismount or just go on a gentle, very slow pace on the horses, because it's not going to be super thick woods. But, you can't just ride a horse at a canter through a woods, or you'll just fall over and everyone will get hurt. So, I think actually I might just call it there and have a quick short session, because otherwise it's going to be...
eating into further.
It's going to end up being starting a whole encounter or something next, so...
What?
I mean, whatever happens
what
next.
What encounter? Oh, whatever happens. All right.
Whatever happens next will be
awesome,
lasting for a while. So we'll call it there.
Sweet.
Oh,
man.
And the next
finally
session,
happening.
you will embark upon your journey, and yes, you will
Awesome sauce.
head into territory where Durindar is familiar, and none of you really are. I wouldn't think that anyone would have been in here. To be honest, it's not the sort of place you would really go unless you needed to. So,
awesome.
Uncharted territory, exciting new things and all kinds of things.
Thank goodness I read on my book of animals.
Yes, books of animals. You learned all about pigs and rabbits.
Pigs and sheep.
Squirrels.
Sheep and...
What's that sound? It's clearly a shayap.
what does everyone horses look like?
Yeah, you guys can decide what your horses look like.
Mine's kind of a golden shaggy. He's got like a mane that's kind of emo if it wasn't bright blonde, and it keeps on blowing it out of his eyes. But he is a little bit chubby as well. He's like a little chubby boy.
Little chunky boy.
Little chunky boy, yeah.
Mine's like short-haired. Yeah, the mane is plaited. He's a
go-to.
Black Beauty. He's Black Beauty. Call it that.
Yeah, imagine Akane's horse is just
drunk and old.
like horses taking on their own. Yeah. Hey, mine's broken.
In a long time.
Mine's the
It's
Samwise Gamgee of horses.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So,
Hang on, can we just establish my
What's
horse?
Charlie's?
Is not drunk?
Wasn't Druindar's horse Look like yours is a warhorse.
He had
Or
like
a...
a big shaggy shy horse.
He's a kind of a shy horse. Well, he's probably not a shy horse, but he looks like a shy horse just because he hasn't been clipped in quite some time. His mane is kind of almost just kind of dreaded down the sides.
I knew you were going to say dreadlocks.
In a bit of a centre part in.
There's so many dreads going on in this party.
He's got dreadlock curtains.
There's a horse with centre parted dreads.
I've literally found Lysander's horse here.
And his teeth are a bit like.
Nice.
Oh, wonderful.
Okay, so come back to me next time with your shopping, or before next time with your shopping list, and we will pick up on your journey to the Witherbark Woods, where we will embark on further adventures.
Yeah, baby.
So next week we've got nothing, unless you guys want to do some kind of stream on Thursday to fill the slot, or we can just continue on the Tuesday. What's that going to be? The 5th of
May
will be our next
No
session
way.
in Liodos. So thank you everyone for watching if you've been here, and we will see you Tuesday the 5th, 8 o'clock. And thank you very much, everybody. See you next time.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.